Hey everybody, I'm on a couple minutes early. Well, I don't know what early is anymore. I didn't need to start at this time, but good morning, everyone. We're hanging out for a second. Let's see if we get a Santa Claus rally.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning, man.
How was everyone's Thanksgiving?
Very family oriented.
You have a big one, Magic, or no?
Massive.
Massive. Okay. Well, I love that sort of thing. You cook or no?
No, not on Thanksgiving. Grandma and my aunt cooked.
Okay. Fair.
But
Fair.
you prepared.
Oh my gosh, we did. Well, we had some family friends, kind of that blended family concept. It was awesome. I made a turkey. I did kind of a wet brine this time, and I liked the way it turned out. So I typically don't do that because it's so much salt, but it worked out really, really good. And then, of course, our extended family, they made like, I don't know, seven different dishes. We're like, hey, let's not have too much leftovers. Like, let's not do too much. We ended up with my entire island, which is a fairly large island, covered in foods from just so many things. I mean, everything from your traditional Southern, mac and cheese, of course, green bean casserole. I make the world's best cranberry sauce, potatoes. Nathan made incredibly homemade sourdough stuffing with my bread and all the things. Homemade chocolate pies, apple pies, all the things.
Sounds like a lot.
I know Brussels sprout. Wait, Izzy made Brussels sprouts. She made the harvest salad. She made, God, what else did she bring? Well, her significant other is vegan, so we ended up having like 12 sides. I'm not kidding. So it was a lot of food. Needless to say, my fridge is still full. I'm gonna have to clear that out today being Tuesday. I've given some to the neighbors and done all the things, but yeah, we're about done. We're done.
Good stuff. So what you seeing on the market?
Okay, I'm gonna pull that up here in a second. I kind of started this a little earlier than I have been here lately. So wait, let's talk about it. Let's just yap. Santa Claus rally potentially, right?
Mm-hmm.
Meaning December closes large. So for
Mm-hmm.
me, I would love to see the first part of this month give us a bit of a retest
Yeah,
and then rally the rest of the month. Like that's what I would love to see. But of course, I'm anticipating potentially less ATRs, which means maybe smaller moves. Of course, we're going to have the sporadic kind of pops and drops. I'm planning for that. But if I take everything off, hold on. Let's go. Just go up to the 4 hour time frame. You got to think we're still really respecting 61% of this move down. So we're really struggling to break above that. We're sitting in that imbalance. It's a higher time frame imbalance. I mean, obviously, we're going to be targeting the 26,000s when we're moving up. That's easy. It's like I'm still thinking potentially upside for the remainder of the month, but I would like to see this whole leg up hasn't really got a full retracement the entire time.
that's true.
So and I'm just, we're talking theory. So I'm open to either direction today. But if we pull on our fibs, we have not even bid the 38% of any of this move. Like this one right here comes close.
Mm-hmm.
This first one does, and we can do high to highs, but we don't even bid 50% once. Not even once. So I'm not trying to be sell side bias, but I am definitely a little bit biased. We've got this one. Hold on, it's loading.
The only thing that has me a little iffy on the sell side is because we broke out of the new week opening gap top
Yeah.
that we were resisting yesterday before we came back down. And then when I was waiting for the ATM candle, it wicked down at the top of that gap and then broke back up. But because of the significant move up without any retest, and I'm still bullish, but I'm not buying in premium. So I want price to come back down where, let me see. So I would say the play might be sell at 9:30, and if the yield and the T note holds up, I would say buy at 10. But the play at 9:30, I would say, would be a sell for now.
Yeah, I kind of like that concept of is big picture I want to buy. I just don't want to buy up here, number one.
Correct. Yeah. You
Um,
never do that.
big picture I definitely think buy, but I just would like the more favorable retracement before I'm really happy with the buys. Like, so
And
what?
that's where the patience come in because you might, I might see a buy, but then like I said, we're in premium. So I have to wait until we come down into discount or at least 50% retracement, and it's resistant for me to even think about taking a buy. But right now it's not ready. So I would say more leaning on the sell at market open.
Well, yeah. So like, look, this one right here bid the 30, 38 and the 61. So way down there. But since then, even if we're using high to highs or same anchor new highs, we don't even come close to a 50% this entire big side move.
Yeah, that's a crazy push.
On the more micro view, we do get it here. Okay. So on this one, we get the 50%, this baby move. But I mean, in all fairness, we're still respecting that kind of 61%. That's from yesterday's action. We are the micro move, we've got that extension, which puts us at the 25,800. So I would like to buy. I just don't want to buy up here. Like not
Yeah,
the picture.
for sure.
You got to think too. Okay, we're gonna get started here in a second. We got all of 12, 11 people on here. We're doing the ding thing. Good morning, Miss Brika. Good morning, Miss Barbara. We're just yapping at this point.
What up, Jonathan?
Good morning, Jonathan. William, of course, quadruple good mornings to William. But hey, I already started recording because, well, I'm on top of it today. Good morning, everybody. Miss Barbara, will you pretty please check our hearts and then we'll get started?
Yes, I will. Father, in the name of Jesus, Lord, we come before you, Father, thanking you, Lord, for all that you do and continue to do in our lives. We thank you, Father, for your Holy Spirit that continues to guide us, Lord. We thank you for your blessings that we continue to bless others, Father, but we do it in your name, Father. We know that you will be glorified, Father. We thank you, Lord, for your healing power, Father. We thank you for your blessings. We thank you, Lord, that we know that you are a faithful God and we can stand on your word, Father, that says through your stripes we are healed. We are blessed, Father. We thank you that we are blessed coming in. We are blessed going out. We thank you, Father, for your guidance. We thank you for your protection. We give you praise in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. It's so good to hear your voice. How you feeling?
I'm healing. I'm healing.
Amen.
I'm doing
Okay.
well. Yes, yes. But we had a great, you've seen the photos of the Thanksgiving, so we had a great time.
Oh,
It, it,
beautiful.
it was beautiful. It was truly beautiful.
I'm so happy to hear it, guys. For everyone who got that time to kind of spend with your family, just make sure you guys remember the reason for the rest of the season, okay? Just remember
Amen.
the reason for the rest of the season. It is not the stuff, it is definitely the people. It's an opportunity. So, okay, we've got 6 minutes to market open. I'm going to talk about the charts a little bit. We have a lot of cool things going on. Yet last month was the first fully green month, at least TradeZella wise. I know for sure there were 2 days where I got chopped up, meaning I've still lost accounts those days. Now on TradeZella, of course, there's enough accounts to kind of balance that out, but we're working on it. We're improving. I am kind of probably going to be on one micro as I'm just working on rebuilding some of those buffers back up on the funded accounts. And honestly, I have a lot of the smaller accounts, so a lot of those accounts are 25K. The risk to reward is just better. The amount I have to make the payout, and it just makes more sense, right? Unless you're on something like Apex, in which case you 2,500 to 3,000. So there's a lot of really big announcements. I'm going to try to go over them as much as possible. But for those of you who just logged on, let's talk about the market. Overall, I posted in the Discord what I'm looking to see happen, and really I'm open to both sides. So talking theory based for a second, we have the Santa Claus rally. That's a theory, right? We are still really far up here. We've got this potential kind of head and shoulders forming, definitely a W formation to the upside. We've got a head and shoulders to the downside. Those are the big picture kind of formations. Now, getting over the formations from this high to this low, we're really respecting kind of that 50% area, that halfway back, that 61%. We are really failing to get any major leg above that. If we can manage to get this leg above, of course, we're going to be targeting all the way up there to the 25 sixes, which is not a huge far away. It's 100 points. And then, of course, we've got all-time highs up there, the 26,400s-ish, and the imbalance is sitting at the 26.49. So more of a micro time frame. If this does manage to continue up, I'm looking at 25,800. Like those are my targets to the upside. Having said that, I was just talking to Magic about this actually here a few minutes ago. This whole leg up hasn't really had even a 50% retracement once. Down here, okay, on the bigger time frame, it just does not come in at all. So the time we bid this, we don't even really bid the 38%. So even if we're doing high to highs or say anchor new highs, this entire time, we don't even get a healthy retracement. That doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but that's a lot of points to the upside. So that's 900, 23 900s all the way up to 25. That's 15, 1600 points to the upside with not even one time are you kind of bidding that 38%. So big picture, I would love to see the Bulls kind of end the month. This is now the second day of the month with a lot of holiday volume coming in. However, I'd like to get the retracement so I can trust the healthy buys throughout the month. So I know Magic looks at oh, I posted something that popped up from the T note, I think it was, or the Treasury yield. So you guys can read that. It's in the chat. I know Magic looks at the
formations on the T note looking like a sell at 9:30.
T note is buying up right now, like in the micro time frame, it looks like it's buying up. The whole idea is to do the opposite. On the daily, we are definitely bullish. Okay, we've flipped to bullish. We've definitely had bullish momentum across the board, but it doesn't always mean we have to buy right there. We also have, last but not least, going to the 30-minute time frame, we kind of have this triple top kind of forming with some potential, an order block we've got up here. We've got some potential resistance there at the 25 fives. So 25 550s. 25550. 2555. Yeah, I think I said that right. Yeah. 0. So overall, I'd like to see a buy. I would like to see the sell side first. Now, my sell side targets are if we lose the 24 threes. Hold on, I've got that off the screen. Let me try to clear off all the nonsense on it. We've got 2 minutes into opening bell. So if we lose the 24,300s, I'm going to take this off, get a better view for us. Go to the 1 hour. We still have this gap present all the way down to 24 fives. I don't necessarily think we're going to get that. But I personally would really like to see us get down at least into the 24 nines area. Might be too big of an ask, okay? But if we're going to get this retracement, I'd like to have it happen at the earlier parts of the month. Obviously, day by day, tick by tick, minute by minute, that doesn't really matter. But again, if we lose these 300s, which is way up here, I'm definitely holding past the November 50%, which is at the 25,100s. I'm going to be targeting kind of those 24,900s. And again, we lose that. I'm targeting all the way down to potentially fill this imbalance before we do the Santa Claus rally. But we'll see. I'm willing to go both sides. I don't have a major bias on the day. I just don't think it's the best buy area way up here. So that's on the big picture. Let's see.
Aggressive move on the 1 minute down.
Yeah, the 1 minute is beautiful right now. We also have a bunch of new tools, a lot of cool things kind of happening. Look at that. That's beautiful. We've got pre-market high yesterday. We're sitting at yesterday's high right now. Gap there, the overnight. I'm going to turn off this. I'm going to talk a little bit about it as well. The inside out. Beautiful entry method. Beautiful, beautiful tool for those of you who are using it. I am very excited about it. I'm especially the automation aspect. 1 trade a day, 2 or 3 at the very most. You're done in minutes or seconds, even depending on the time frame, and you go on with your entire life. It's kind of an awesome way to be. So, sell is happening. I'm not in it. Kind of wish I was.
I have a small position.
4 7s, 420s. That's a 50-point drop. 50-point drop just to kind of drag us into pre-market low. VWAP is sitting there. That is not a bad target. like it a lot.
If we break the bullish fair value gap on
If
the
we
1 hour,
close,
yeah,
which
on the 1 hour for MNQ. So we're bouncing off of the 1 hour fair value gap right now. If we break it, I would like to see price come down to 25,367.75.
25,367. I like the sell, guys. Like we have some potential there. It's popping up a little bit right now. Being really gentle, very mindful. 5-minute range is still not formed just yet. If we get back below this kind of open candle, you can take that earlier entry. It is the aggressive entry. It's not confirmed by any means. JGS already has you in. You're kind of doing that reversal kind of trade, but I'm not in it yet. I'm still flat. Still flat. Trying to be patient. Since I only want my 1 or 2 trades and I don't need that many dollars, I can afford to be a little bit more patient. So I'm working on it. Baby steps. That candle got bought right back up. Still pushing up.
Selling again.
We're sitting at yesterday's highs. That's 37 points is not a bad 46 points, even if you're entering them way down here. That is not a bad stop loss for opening range, and I'm not talking like the micro scalps, I'm talking like the bigger picture. Like that's not bad at all. You're selling again?
Yeah.
I'm not in a sell. I've also done a couple of things while we wait for the setup. I think trying to mirror from micros to minis is catastrophic. Well, sorry, minis to micros catastrophic, whether I'm using Ninja or Trade Sinker. I also think there's a lot of just little nuanced things that happen. And again, it only needs to happen once to make a pretty big thing happen on your account. Um, Something I'm trying now, today being December, is I would like to take, instead of what I was doing before, would be if my major account is, let's say, taking 4 micros and I wanted my other accounts to have half as many positions, I had that set to half, right? On Ninja Trader's affordable
Now
trade.
would be the time to sell if you want optimal trade entry.
Yeah, if you're buying the tops and stuff, but
Mm.
um we're selling the tops, yeah. You're at the very tip top of the range. You want a really tight stop loss. I want a more confirmed entry.
Yeah,
I
we
don't
just
have
wicked
a-
up. We just
Yeah.
wicked up. So at 9:30, we came down into we closed below on the 1 minute, below the top of the new week opening up. And then we shot back up and took out liquidity sitting at the last let me see, around 9 o'clock. So yeah, it's if you wanna
We
type
just
stop with optimal entry is here.
we just swept pre-market highs, so that's not bad. But we're buying right now. So we've got 7 seconds left on this 1 minute candle. Like I'll take a 1 minute entry, but just not yet because we're not confirmed yet. So just
So
no trade for me. Again, could have bought the JGS right there. 5-minute range is now formed and we have broken out to the upside. So
yeah, it took me out.
ugh, I wish I was in it. I'm not. She is just going. That's a lot of points. Hold on. It's not bad. 15 points. JGS entry here, again, with the trend, with the VWAP. Break here. We can wait for the fair value gap. I'm still not in love with the buys. My targets, if you're already in this, 573s, it's not going to be a bad one. I'm not in it. I'm still flat. Yeah, no trades. Oh, actually, let me see. That's our first fair value gap outside of that 5-minute range. Anyway, so what I was saying was instead of doing it that way, the accounts that have more room, I'm attempting to do, let's say I'm doing one contract on the account I'm actually trading. The other ones that have more room, I'm going to try to multiply those instead. So kind of the reverse of what I was doing. That buy is awesome. I am not in it. And we're hitting that 573 beautifully. That is awesome. That was even in the screenshot I posted in the Discord. The target's hit. But I'm not in it. So it's okay. This is a whole strategy by itself, guys. You have your breakout, you have your first fair value gap. I would never buy after the close of this candle because that is just redonkulous, but it is its own strategy. And if you're going to follow the rules and trade what you see, that is part of the strategy, right? Even if the candle is voluptuous like that. So for me and mine, I'm out. Either way, 583s down to 398 till yesterday's closing price. That is quite the candle. She just was like, bye. See you later, bye. Next targets if you're in a buy, 25, 695. 25, 695, and she's just going. She's not taking any prisoners. She's just going. That's 100 points away. Beautiful trade. If you're interested, I am still flat. Still flat. There's the breakout. 695s. That's incredible. So can you technically enter here with your stop loss below the candle that broke out? You'd be targeting a 2-to-1. Maybe not on this move because how big that candle is. I'd still probably keep mine at the inside out, give an alert on the 1 minute. Let's see, baby. Let's see.
For balance, YM is pushing down hard.
Is it really? Look at that. It gave you a break. So this was your entry. That's your 2-to-1 tight stop. Beautiful. Did you take it, Ryan? I don't know why. I had just turned that off already. Remove. There we go. I try to lighten the colors a little bit, but yeah, that's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Inside out for the win there. Easy trade. Tight stop. Win. This is a loss. I think I haven't seen a whole bunch of losses. This is a fair and square loss. This is a win. Most of the ones you're going to see are wins. You're going to have a 70, 80%, 60 to 80%. 60 achieved just because of human error and everything else that kind of comes with it, and depending on what your targets are, what time frame. But do you like it? Aw. Ryan, okay, you gotta tell me how you're liking it, how you're using it, all the things. It's very powerful. I'm really hoping to see more of you guys go get your one trade a day. Here's your buy. Inside candle forming. There's a buy setting up. Got 9 seconds for that to close above. It's not closing above, so not staying there. New candle. So you're still inside this range. I don't like that box being so big. Beautiful. So again, if this is daddy or parent candle, so daddy, mommy, whatever, child candle, this doesn't close, that third candle right here doesn't close above. I'm gonna go ahead and delete this. I'm not in it anyways, but still a valid trade idea. So to give you an idea, this doesn't close above, but let's say at that point you either took it too soon, you're going for that 2-to-1 or 1-to-1. 2-to-1 is, I'm just gonna keep it there pretty tight, or 1-to-1 here. You're coming in to tap. That's if you're using the 50% of the whole child candle, or of course you can use the parent candle. Either of those tops are totally fine. Or there's a third one that's really, really tight. and then it's going to give you huge risk rewards, but tons of options there. We're forming another one right now. So I'm gonna go check out YM. Scott, is ES going down? Oh, look at that.
It finally made a push up, but it's wicking at the moment. I'm looking at the 15-minute just to get an overview.
ES. I didn't take the buy. I could have.
I'm selling.
You're selling, just playing the ranges.
So we just where we just took the relative equal high on the 1 hour at the last bearish order block, and it's wiki. So I would expect price to dance around a bit, but it's not closing above.
As long as it's not closing above there. Nice. Very, very nice. I don't buy or buy bottoms or sell tops. It just, for me, that's not for me, mostly because I feel like I'd be trying to time them all the time. I'd be making too many mistakes. But
Yeah,
it works out. It's a great entry. And your stops are always tight. So there's an edge there.
exactly. So if if it hits, it's a good return, and if it doesn't, you can take the hit.
Mm-hmm. Not bad. Not at all. Ryan, I want to hear how you're doing with it. I'm getting a little bit more organized. I've got one Apex account for just breakout. I actually want to have one for minis and then one for micros on breakout. And then obviously the one for minis needs to be a larger account, just it goes without saying. But for those who needed to hear, I would like to have one account where I just take one inside out trade per day. And I'm human. There's going to be days where maybe I took two or three, or days where whatever. The humanness is going to come in. But the goal is to literally just take no more than three trades in a day using inside out and say, look, this is what's possible in 30, 60, 90 days. But I'm just managing so many things. So many things. When I do my monthly review, I'm patiently waiting, guys. We just took the negative 23% retracement on that micro move to the upside. I want a little bit more confirmation, even if it means worse entry for me. I don't want to time the tops, but if you wanted to sell anyways, it's not a bad place to be. So not at all. We just completed that. So if I do same anchor, hold on, off screen. That would put us right back down at least the 2400s, but we'll see. We're trying to buy. We're trying. Anyways, we'll see. We'll see. I do want to hear how you're doing with it though. Maybe I'll offer a reward to anybody who does something for 30 to 60 days, right? Just trying to do something for 30 to 60 days. Because even when I go to make my next video on, hey, here's our weekly review. I didn't do one last week because it was a holiday. I'm going to do one for the month of November. I think most of the time our problem is ourselves. I think most of the time we're over trading. We're trying to make a situation exact or perfect, which it simply is just not going to be. There's going to be differences and glitchy things and all the things that go on, but you're not going to accomplish perfection. What your job is to trade what you see and come back the next day. Don't over risk. Even myself, even on my bigger accounts, I'm scaling down. But we'll see. We'll see. Magic, your T note is going up. Well, your T note mildly on the 1 hour time frame, at least on the micro.
Yeah, so it's at a key area of support, and the resistance is a good distance away. So that's why I'm, kind of bearish. Plus, like it goes with my rules because, like I said before, there's no way I'm buying at the top.
There's no what?
No, I said there's no way I'm buying at the top, which and I should have at 9:30, but again, it went against my rules, so I'm still bearish.
We're getting a little bit of some momentum now down to the downside, which is good.
Uh,
I don't want to be somebody else's dinner. That's all. I've gotten a little more patient. Thank you, Jesus. I've felt also in the last week or two more like looking at the big picture and just more trading versus this kind of
Mhm.
gamification of prop firms. It's actually felt kind of good, a little bit more peaceful. Definitely a little bit more peaceful. I'm gonna pop around, let's see if see any inside outs on 1 minute. That one played out beautifully. We're kind of breaking out of the consolidation box we have. If we can close below, we have a valid sell just on that break alone. We have a little bearish fair value gap. Tap in. If we close below, you've got a potential sell there. If we get below the moving average, we've got JGS. Just want some amount of confirmation. Got a little bit of this trend line break, but that's 540s. A lot of little gaps to the downside. We're on the 1 minute, which is small as we can go. So can't go any smaller. We could actually. We can go to the 30-second, but we're stuck at the 600s, guys. Still flat on the day. Don't have anything. So patience. It's been a lot of fun kind of watching other people, not even watching other people, but knowing other people are taking 15 trades and you're patiently waiting. It's the other day I watched the market in the morning. I didn't take my trade immediately. I had some ideas of where it was going to go up and down. I was right on a good 70-80% of them. I took my trade a little bit later and took my one trade. It was easy peasy done. It felt good. Waiting is winning. It felt good versus like, I gotta be in it, gotta be in it. I mean, obviously this would have been nice. I would have loved to have been in it, but I wasn't. 100 points. Easy, one and done. To sell this is going to be against the trend. It's going to be against everything. Got a crossover here. We're breaking out now. Remember, we've got about 70 points just to come back into that range. We've got another 170 to kind of close yesterday's gap, the overnight gap. We've taken pre-market highs by a decent amount.
Even if we come back down to like the 500, 25, 500.
I'd like to see that. I would like to see that. But we're chilling. We're waiting.
So you're not in any trade, right?
Nope.
Okay.
Good morning, y'all. Good morning, Danny Magic. I just want to
Hello.
say over before the holidays and everything, we did have the live chat with Magic in there and a few of us. And so like for anybody who may not be on the call or anything, definitely chime in on those if you do see those and you're free and you can hop on. A lot of sauce was given during that and being able to go over different styles and everything as well with your fellow traders. It's just sort of a little bit of a different environment. So definitely a lot of good there in the future. So y'all stay tuned.
Clarify what Jonathan's saying. It's the live voice chats.
In the Discord, we have an audio hangout. So for all of you guys on, I know YouTube has some value and you can learn a lot, but one of the benefits of the community we're trying to build is being able to like communicate, right? You grow through experience, you grow through communication, right? That's part of it too. So you pick up on different things, and it doesn't mean you always have to jump ship on whatever is working for you, but it is nice to exchange ideas and talk about the T note. That's not something I've ever talked about, or talk about buying the tops. You're not always going to be right. Okay. You're not always going to be right confirmed either. You're not always going to be right on anything, but it just also facilitates relationships. So Magic was kind enough to start that a couple of times. So definitely in our Discord, check it out, or go tag, hey, at everyone, I'm going to jump, I'm trading right now anyways. So anybody who wants to hang out, come on in, hang out for a little while. Um, share what you're talking about, share what you're seeing. If nothing else, it's somebody to say, oh my gosh, I need NQ to go down with me. Come on, I'm going to, if nothing else, it's somebody just to, you're building some relationships. So a huge shout out to Magic, Jonathan, Hub. I know Robert popped in. Anybody else who popped in? I tried to pop in very mildly while I was in a sauna. Didn't work too well, but I did pop in. For a brief second, I wasn't in there very long, but that's what we're building it for. So again, huge shout out to everyone who's in the room creating good conversations. Sam in the Dragonfly is creating such good conversations. Ugh, we're still going. No, no trades yet. That's a nice little buy flag though. Nice little bull flag.
Yeah, I don't want to sell yet.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen though. I sort of like that was one of the things that we were Magic was explaining a little bit in his as far as the way that he's seen the markets and whatnot, and selling and buying at premium, because even though you may be wrong sometimes, like when the market is being stubborn like it is right now and it just wants to buy, right? Hold on, let me get a call coming in. Sorry about that, guys.
That's
Yeah, but it's sort of another way of looking at it. Like even if you're doing it within your system, you don't have to use the exact same system per se that he's doing. But what as far as for looking for opportunities, sort of why Jenny's staying on her hands right now is you're trying to find the best opportunity in prime time where you can get in at a good price and not just FOMO into a trade just to be in the trade. Because if you do lose that trade, you'll look back and feel stupid because hey, I sort of force the issue as opposed to being patient. And if you're patient, even if you take the loss, I think it's a little bit easier mentally to deal with it.
that 100%. I like how this is looking now. I like this full, but this was an inside candle. Technically, it's just a different one. If I turn that on, this was meant to be an IOU. Gosh, I'm gonna have to do better at that. This right here, it's technically an inside candle. So a different way of seeing that. This is trend continuation, but this is its own strategy right here. You can see it when it's popping up. I have that disabled right now. Um,
Come on,
it's
baby, try.
beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Plus, you have to take in account one thing I always do when I'm looking at the market. You have to ask yourself, what would retail do? So then, if you if like a perfect example would be if if I'm able to see an opportunity that is easy enough to see, everyone else is seeing it, and if everyone else is seeing it, that means it's too late.
I like that, but I also like the idea of like looking for traps. Like we talked about that a little bit in the chat. Is this a trap to the upside or are they baiting the sellers, right? So
I think it's a trap to the upside.
I think this is a trap to the upside. This whole big move.
Yeah, because
Trap to the
it's a
upside.
significant move that would, convince someone that we're going higher.
Yeah. So we got our first JGS sell right there. So we've got a bearish candle close on the other side. We've got a confirmation with confirmation, right? And there's a bajillion ways to skin a cat. You just need to find the one that works for you. Big picture, I'd like to see us come all the way down there. Let's let this candle, 7 seconds left. That's our second bearish close. We could come and test all the way back up into here, which is really 30 points. 30 points of a move back up.
Something to be mindful of too is that we've been trading above VWAP since London.
And we haven't retested it.
We have not retested it. S&P is very close to retesting VWAP now.
I like this. We got a wick to the upside. Oh, hold on. On. We're on the 1 minute. We've got 9 seconds left. I'm selling. I'd like to see, I'm going to be protecting within about 40 points. Now, this account accidentally has two. Most of my accounts have one because my stupid Ninja Trader thing wasn't turned on. So we'll see how it plays out. That's my entry. Like to see us kind of come down quite a bit more, but we'll see. 575s. 575s down to pre-market low, 523s.
Four minutes to the hour close. Well, 3 minutes now.
Oh, I don't want that next hour to make a wick either, though. At 10 a.m. Here's our hourly.
A lot can happen in 2 minutes.
Yeah. I don't have a lot of risk on, but I also I don't need to give this so much room because I can always get back in. No, she's trying to push up again. Hopefully we can just kind of stay below that 595s would be really nice. I don't mind if we wick into the 600s, but I definitely don't want to close anywhere above this area, which is 612s. And we're pushing up. Pushed into the 600s again. Brand new candle in 2 minutes. I think we might be pushing up again for that next hourly candle. It does not look like it's ready to go.
Mm.
What is ES doing, guys, in YM? 1
We're
minute says
trading in a range, basically.
minute left on this candle. We're going to tap that either way.
And from Friday's high down to yesterday's low, we're trading inside that range for, 2 days now.
Not in love.
No, they didn't take out that high yet on that 1 minute.
Yeah. I kind of want to give this more room, but like the trade's invalid anyways by the time it comes up here, but it easily could just wick up. That's why in my more swing trading, intraday trading, my stop loss was so far was because the trade can be right, but we can wick up by, gosh, 50 points, 100 points on that next candle and then go down. I'm getting ready to exit if this keeps pushing up. We're on that 10 o'clock candle. I really want it to flush down, hopefully aggressively, but if we need to form a wick on that hour, it means we're going to break the high. That means we're going to break these levels. Come
Yeah,
on.
it could definitely wake up and then go down. The 15-minute just formed a doji candle. So yeah, you could have your wick and then the pull down after that.
Yep. Look at that doji on the 15. So the highs there is 612s. Did you see that horrible fill? That was on
Yeah.
camera. That was redonkulous.
Yeah, they're really trying to test the seller's patience and
And
Okay,
then
so
took
one
me out
stop
again,
out.
boy.
A tight stop out though, so that was, a little bit more than 25, 30-ish points, okay? So not horrible. Just rude. I could have gotten out here. And in my previous days of trading, I was like, I never wanted to make the decision to manually exit. But I think something I'm trying to get more comfortable with is if I don't like what I see here, I may as well exit. I can always get back in, but there's no sense in doubling. I could have taken half the stop loss basically if I chose to. We are riding. And she's gone. Another argument to trade with. No, I was patient. I waited for the JGS. We had a bearish close, bearish close. I let the wick back into this imbalance right here. Entered, at a pretty good entry, reasonably tight stop. So for that, I have no regrets. But would have been better. Next target to the upside, we said what? We're 695s. They're pretty far away.
Now pull out to the 4 hour.
I'm gonna turn all that off.
Yeah, because right now you've got, we're kind of getting through that imbalance that you're showing there. Let me get a rectangle here. So, kind of from this area here, we've got some trap traders. That's what's been kind of driving us down. This imbalance is what caused this little flip down here. So from the larger time frame, we've got people that were buying up in this area that are stuck, and they're bailing out at break even, which is putting selling pressure in there. Part of the reason for our slowdowns, as it doesn't break, some people get out early thinking, okay, I can handle this kind of loss. Once we break through that, I think we've got a lot more movement happening. We'll also have trap traders sitting up here. It's going to have to push through that stuff because this area over here was the first drive down from the highs.
From this leg up, that's completed the full negative 100% completion all the way down into here. Like, yeah, that one's rough.
We've got short-term structure break on NQ. I don't have that on ES. It's still trying to work its way through yesterday's high. Or last week's high, rather. Last week's high. 4 hour. I have to get used to that being weekly breaks, not daily breaks.
Okay, I'm gonna go the 1 hour, so it's gonna mess up some of your drawings. I like those
Okay, let me get rid
levels.
of the drawings. There you
I
go.
like those levels. Where did we draw this from? We had the imbalance from way up here. We are officially now, we have engulfed that. So we're above that area. So this, we're done. We got another one technically sitting at the 780s.
I think we got one right here.
Yeah, literally that's exactly where my mouse is. I like this one. It matches up with the negative 61%. So we like that a lot. And again, that's the 695s if we're buying. $695s and then of course 769s. We said, what did I say in my message this morning? I said 695s and 800s. 800s is going to be kind of taking out this level right here, which it looks like it's going to go. So again, this whole move has not had even a 50% retracement, this whole big move to the upside. So can we come all the way up to here? If we're coming up to here, we've got another imbalance even further up. Not bad at all. We're doing the dang thing. I'm just not in it. I would love to see that 10 o'clock kind of reversal, if you will. If I go to the 15-minute, I would have loved to see this even just come down enough to kind of give us that healthy sell. Didn't get it. Had multiple opportunities to buy, but again, my bias said no. So I didn't participate in this, which is one of the problems with having that longer term view, right? It doesn't always mean you're always going to win, but I could have bought here, made a ton, bought here, great entries. I mean, was not a bad trade at all. Back to the 1 minute. Instead, I waited for this one. Sometimes not always the best decision. Beautiful. It's not, you technically have potential to buy. Now, I'm not going to be buying up here personally. It might mean obviously I'm missing out, but you have an opportunity. I'm not taking this, but we've got all the way up to what did we say, 695s? Okay. 1 to 1. You really can't put your stop loss too much tighter. We can wait for this candle to flip bullish, but kind of targeting that 2 to 1, 690s all the way up to 800s potentially. But again, for me, I want a bit of a pullback. So I wanted to kind of scalp into the sell and then buy, but we didn't get it. $15-minute is spicy. Look how big that range is. Nice imbalance inside of the 15-minute range. This is our first breakout. So this is the 15-minute orb that we know a lot of retail traders definitely use.
I'm curious to see if it'll keep its momentum and close that 15-minute close all the way. It's looking like it is a lot of pressure right now because no sellers have been coming in.
Let's see. You will see. One step out, not a bad stop out at all. 575s. We're coming up on the 650s right now. Robert, my orb made 100, 160. I don't know. I'd have to check. I'm not logged into Apex to check it, but the automation, the auto breakout made money. I know it doesn't make money every day. I made bank on that move and shut it down for the day. Good job. While you're on, Robert, what I need you to know is, again, everybody has different settings. So we're not going to be comparing you to me, to me, to you, to so and so and so and so for 100 reasons. Number one, different settings, different times, different risk levels, different account sizes, but also some of us are using personal daily targets, right? So on the accounts that I'm taking more seriously, I literally have a personal daily target of 100 or $200, and that's it. So somewhere between my AM and PM session, I usually hit that. Not every day, but most days. Okay. Most days I hit that, and the rest of the trades I don't need or I don't get them, right? I don't need them. I don't currently have any kind of like a personal daily loss on those, mostly because I felt like that was just, it was limiting what I was trying to do for automation. On my funded ones, I will put like a larger one, obviously like 3 or 4 times the size of my PD personal target, whatever, just so you know.
I know. I just wanted to verify that mine was working correctly. And when it's confusing at first when Hub said he made money, but I lost a lot. At first, we didn't realize he had the time zone setting different, so that answered that question.
Well, that, yeah, but also you made changes mid-trade to the first session. And well, you stopped at the first session, so you didn't catch the other remaining winners. And then on the second session, you changed settings, so you didn't catch those winners. So your winner loss on the day compared to mine is literally insignificant because
Yeah, it'd be different than yours. Yeah.
your actions.
And that's why I need to because you had the you mentioned before after you get for 2 stop losses, you stop for the day, and that was part of the logic too. But with auto orb, I don't know if that logic needs to change some and just let it run, you know. And on the 2 losses for the day, if it's on just on manual trading, I'm just the rules are kind of that I need to set up for myself are kind of confusing. Do I stick to the same rules, auto or manual, or just let the auto run, or, that's that part I need to figure out.
Yeah, I don't shut it down after 2 losses on the auto orb. So I can't speak for you. I can just speak for me. Like on the automation, I wanted to hit my PDL, my personal daily loss or my personal daily target. And I don't
Right.
think about it. Like it's not always going to happen, but again, I'm not making as many manual changes as other people are. So if you're going in a lot of times, not only can you not report any meaningful data or useful information, but also you can't find your edge. You'll never find your edge if you're constantly making changes and adaptations. Whether it's this system, a different company, a different strategy, a different automation, you will
Right.
0% ever find your edge if you make changes to it all the
Yeah,
time.
you can't do, and I know this in testing, software tests too, you can't do good comparisons if you're always changing the parameters. The
Yeah.
strategy in this case, but parameters as far as like software and stuff like that. I did have the idea of, since I'm only using one contract, whenever $100 or more on the day, shut it down at that point. That's one idea that I did have.
Yeah. So until you build a buffer, that's what I did was I was doing $100 a day.
Yeah,
On 2 of my accounts now because I'm running it on 3. Uh, I have it set at getting me out at 2 or 300. Okay. I still don't have the mini one hooked up because I was trying to test my funded futures for somebody who was having a hard time getting it to run. But either way, build the buffer once you have enough of a buffer that you can kind of afford that trailing drawdown room. Plus, since most of us are using it on Apex, it has trailing drawdown on all accounts until you get past like 4,000, whatever.
yeah,
So you may as well get your $100, and then the bad days are bad and they suck. But for the most part, you shouldn't be having a whole bunch of problems.
yeah. I was thinking, again, I remember before, and this is, I'm gonna go ahead and mention this while I'm here. I was probably wrong in my previous assessment to where, where it wicked in and out a couple of times. I had those 2 bad days in that one week and I blew all those accounts. I was thinking about this last night, actually. My mistake was going away from it and trying to change things when in fact, for 2 or 3 weeks, um, at 3 contracts, my goal is 300 a day. It was reaching that goal practically every day of the week, except that one week where it missed it that just 2 times. My mistake is going away from that. Obviously, it was working. I shouldn't have went away from it. I should just lowered my contracts
I'm so
and
glad you
just
said that. Like, I'm
started.
so freaking proud of you, Robert. Seriously, I am so proud of you.
Well, I
Because
mean, my mind's all over the place all the time and PTSD and whatever. But I thought about that last night. I said, well, I kind of beat myself up for it. I said, why did I go away from that when I literally saw it work for 2 or 3 weeks and I was $400 away from being funded on 18 accounts? Stay with the procedure, lower the contract size
yes.
so
Like
that doesn't happen
have
again.
if you have less room, you got to lower the contract size, okay? As you
Yeah,
get more room, you can increase it, obviously. But remember, if you have an average 60, 70% accuracy, and remember, achieved is probably going to be closer to this. Whether you're manual or automatic trading, you're probably going to be closer to that 60%. You have to understand that your statistical odds of having 5 losing days or trades in a row is pretty high. You're going to have this happen more frequently than you think. Like this is going to happen if these are your numbers. But if you
yeah.
jump ship every time this, the 5 losing period or whatever pops in, you never get to the payout. You never get to the better part. This is part of it. So you kind of, when we talk about the dragonfly, when we talk about automation, we talk about manual trading, you have to be able to digest this financially as well as mentally and emotionally, meaning, okay, I know my edge will play out over time. I don't have now I need to do the math. Let's say I have less of a buffer on this account or something. I need to do the math and I need to size down. But my job is to continue to do what was getting me these results, knowing that at the end of it, I'm going to get to the payouts. I'm going to get to here, but you can never get to here if we jump ship because yeah, you were killing it. But I
Yeah,
feel
I
like
mean, it worked good for 2 or 3 weeks and I wasn't, I mean,
yeah,
uh, that was my fault for going away from it. Then, like I said last night, it hit me. I said, well, why did I go away from it when it obviously worked for 2 or 3 weeks straight? and just some weird stuff happened. And keep in mind, again, I remind everybody else also the indicator's still in beta, so, and all this stuff combined. And so it's
Yep.
just one of those, I guess you call it an epiphany. I don't know if that'd
Ready?
be the
So
correct word
18
for it.
accounts, you were a couple $100 away, right?
I was 400, I was around $400 away on most of them from being funded on all of them.
So that's a
Another 1 or 2 days.
yeah.
Well,
Listen, that's a $45,000, and I know it's not achieved yet, so it doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel valid or important or significant, but that's a $45,000 gain in a couple of weeks
yeah,
with that period. And remember
if
this,
they were funded, yeah.
yeah. Well, no, not if they're funded, but that is what the gain is. I know that they're
Well,
not
yeah, that's the
funded.
gain on the account. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
That's a lot. That's a $45,000 gain that you achieved. And yes, you have to be able to tolerate the good and the bad that goes with it. So yeah. We'll see. And you're gonna love Inside Out. Like to be able to take one trade. Hold on, I don't have it. I don't see anything popping up or popping out at me.
Now, the other thing too, Robert, if you do ever get like, or the next time you get funded on, multiple accounts like that, I would, just my opinion, I would split up the accounts. I wouldn't try to rush the process as far as trying to do, 20 accounts, running them at the
I'd do them
same
in
time.
groups of 4 or 5 or 3 or
Yep.
something. Yeah.
Right, essentially. And
Now,
then
I
later as
still
you
do.
build equity, maybe you can put everything together. But it's just good because just one thing can go bad, you can blow all those up.
Yeah. And I am still funded on 5A because I got those when we had the FP. I've still got those 5 funded ones. I've still got one take profit trader that's still funded. Jenny doesn't know this because I haven't told her yet. I think I told Hub this in DM. I accidentally, the other night, I was looking at some Forex stuff where I do some Forex of 100K, their Forex accounts or whatever, props. And I must have had 100K on my mind. I went in and I bought 5 more Apex challenges, but dummy me, and yes, I'm gonna beat myself up for this. Accidentally bought 5 100K Apex challenges.
Well,
And I was
good.
wondering why. I was wondering why is this price different and everything else. It didn't. And it was late night. I was half asleep, and
Well,
but
that's
I'm gonna treat those like 50K accounts. Is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna trade on the same.
if nothing else, it's good practice. And then just don't renew the auto renew on them.
I'm
That
not. I'm
that
not.
account gives you plenty of room. So I
Yeah.
can tell you it was a struggle as I kind of moved down to the 25K accounts on some of them, but I did the math and the math says dollar for dollar, it's better. Now, granted, I have to learn to trade a little different because technically on $1,000 drawdown, what is it, a 50-point stop loss on one contract? I mean, that's more than the risk you should take in a day. That's 10% of your risk on that account. So it's
Yeah.
trading a little different, but you have more room now on those 100K
It's
accounts.
definitely not a good deal because your target is twice as much, but your overall drawdown is only like $500 a day. It's like the difference between 2,500 and 3,000, so that makes it a bad deal. But it is what it is. I'm going to trade them until just before they're going to renew, and I'll probably cancel them all out because I don't want to pay an extra 150 or whatever it is, per month. But on the flip side of that, and this is also another public service reminder, NFP is the 16th of this month instead of this Friday. And I guess it'll be the first Friday of next month. And that's about the same time I'm supposed to renew those accounts. So what I may do, I'm sitting on them, and I'm gonna wait and see if I can do that same trick on those 100K accounts and get them funded like in that one sweep.
There you
If
go.
not, then I'm gonna cancel them anyway. They're not gonna lose anything.
Yep, I love it. I love it.
Okay, I'm done. I gotta go
Now,
back to work.
hourly trade. Look at this, guys. We're green on the big tech stuff.
Anyone in the cell?
No, not yet.
This is my last trade for the NY.
You taking 2 stop outs, yeah?
Yeah, well, yeah. So I usually go for 3 trades if it's a losing day. So this is my third one. Well, per session. So I tried to catch the London and I lost 3. But like I said before, when you trade with like the style I'm trading, losses are minimal, man. So you don't even feel it.
We still like coming into that VWAP. Let's let this, we had one bearish candle close. We whipped right back up. We're sitting in a bullish fair value gap. Okay. We're sitting at the top of the 15-minute range. So we got one bullish close. It's still inside of that and still failing to get below the 605s, okay? So we can wait until we get below those 605s, which 50 points. You could even give it 40. But let's wait a little bit. That 5-minute candle still has 3 minutes on it and we could form another wick. So which is what we're doing on the 2-minute. So forming another wick. We're not in this yet. If we lose the 605s, we can look for that sell again. We've had a lot of buy opportunities, little scalp ones. If we break above 628, so that sell is no longer valid for me at least. At least not this sell. So
Yeah, I think the sale may be coming. It's just a matter of when it's going to be ready. Because, like Scott had pointed out on that 4 hour, it basically did just come to that area of interest, and so far we haven't seen it push for a new high or anything. So we'll see. We may get, even if it's still going to be bullish, we may get a little bit of that pullback, some reprieve before going up further. But
really
definitely a good point of watching. Just don't know if it's ready yet. That's the only thing.
our next level, that's 719s. I just want to pull back. But then again, I'm trading backwards. Let's make this yellow for our little area. Obviously, we have a bit of an imbalance up there at the 660s to 690s. Otherwise, our next level to take is all the way up here. 721s. So now that we've got that marked, let's go back down to the 1. There we go. Okay, let's see what we can do. No sell yet. We're just not confirming. For me, I would need to get below that. Okay, I need to confirm. Otherwise, we just have a nice little bull flag. So no sell yet. Still flat. Being patient. I don't regret this sell, especially not with one contract. I don't regret that sell. So baby steps, but the only thing I can say I could have done better was I saw when we were on this candle and we didn't continue. So by the time I got to this candle right here, which was the 58, anything could happen in that last 10 minutes of the hour. And I was banking on that. But the truth is, I could have probably saved my stop out by 605s to 620s. That's 20 points. So that is not a bad, difference. If I could have cut 20 points of risk off of my trade, that's probably the only thing I would have done differently is just decide to close it at that point, which is never something I was ever really keen on doing for most of my trading career. I was like, nope, I'm in it. My job is to trust it. But I think it's a little bit different in this arena where it's a little bit more micro trading and in and out, in and out, in and out. So we'll see. We are still buying. We're back above the moving average. We're still above the VWAP, obviously. Next areas is 730s. If I go to my other chart off screen, I don't even see any pivot points. Pivot point at the 8, God almighty, 860s, 733s. I don't know what that blue line is right there. Oh, that's a fib drawing from a while ago. I'll have to find out where that one was from. So my next one on my major chart is going to still be the 690s. If we're buying up, 690s is my target before here. And we are definitely buying up. Before we leave, I do have a couple of questions about Inside Out that sounded weird. Absolutely. So while I'm waiting on the next setup, I'll look for one more. I am trying to be patient. I've missed a lot of the micro buy-ups, mostly because I was uninterested in buying at the highs. Doesn't always make it better. In fact, this was an amazing trade. This was an amazing trade. This was the losing trade. But you have to trade what you see and you have to trade your edge, knowing that some days. So you think about it, if you have a 70% winning ratio, you're going to lose 30% of the time, right? But your job is to trade what you say you're going to trade and accept that 30% of the time that you lose. And it's hard and a good reason to size down. But if you go into it knowing that you can get a 3-to-1, a 1-to-1, even if you've got better than a 1-to-1 and you're going to win 65, 70% of the time, you need to take that trade 100% of the time, knowing that this one might be the one that stops you out. 100%, like you got to take that trade. You got to do what you got to do. So while we wait on a setup, we are not confirmed. We are, MACD is kind of losing it. Otherwise, we are still bullish. All bullish. Inside Out actually has had several nice buys. Go figure. On the 1 minute. Little brat. I wasn't in those, but I did have them. Let's put that on. So to talk about a few things, guys, please, if you have not done so, if you're buying any prop firms, check out our link tree. I've got funded ticks, which I'm still trying to get approved for. I need a few people to actually use the link and the code in order for them to approve me for a custom code. But funding ticks is a really easy payout system. Like you build up a buffer, take your whatever percent of your account, $1,000 withdrawal, very cheap account. Lucid, very easy. I'm actually kind of impressed. Take Profit Trader, funded next. Apex, of course, is still my unicorn. Tradeify. I don't do a lot on Tradeify, mostly because the days that I was doing a lot of the mixing, it the fills were always a little bit different, and I didn't think that made sense. So not that it's good or bad, but definitely check out our link tree. Blue Guardian officially now has Tradeovate, so definitely worth checking out. And that one does have code 6FTC, and dollar for dollar, their accounts are cheaper. Only drawback is you have that end of day. You do have end of day, which is cool, but you have the daily loss limit. Otherwise, it's a very, very inexpensive account to get. It's a very, very good testing ground. So now they have Tradeovate. So I unfortunately am not going to be keeping all my Project X accounts. I don't know what they're doing there. I have not got an email to say, hey, this is how we're going to handle this. But they officially have Tradeovate. So that's kind of cool. So check those out. We've got a couple new tool releases. I'll have a meeting with the developer. The other automation should come in pretty quickly. They should be coming in pretty quickly because of the way we built all this. So be prepared for that for sure. I know that the team is working on the website, so it should be something like sixfiguretradingcoach.com/prop firms or 6ftc.com/prop firms. So you'll be able to have all that stuff in there as well soon. But as for automation, we've got quite a few. We're losing it now. Nice retest. Oh.
Only take off one position.
Yeah, I can see when this is automated on 1 minute, it working really good, but manually, it's not easy.
Well, I probably wouldn't be trading it on the 1 minute, honestly. So not manual. Like if you can, by all means, like you can be doing that, but we said,
You
okay,
had to be quick, or
one,
I do anyway. I had to be. I mean, it's like, wait, what? And everything's just moving. And well, while we're here, the one question I have, of course, I'm using alerts on it. When it hits bar close, uh, once how can I say this? Once I enter the trade, if the price is already past TP1, do we just skip that trade, or can we move the TP to TP2? Or
that's going to be a personal choice, Robert. So some of
yeah,
these things are going to be things where you want a clear-cut answer that you simply cannot, I cannot give you.
right.
They're going to be personal preferences. So you're going to do things one way, another guy's going to do things another way. That's part of any trading system. So for me, if it depends on what the market's doing. So like if I'm trading pre-market and we just hit take profit one, I know opening bell's coming and we're counter trend. I probably don't want to hold the take profit two, right? If we're with the trend and I know there's bigger time frame targets or we're coming up on an area of interest, I might treat that one a little bit differently, right? So there's always going to be parts
And
of it that you need to consider, I think, in all fairness. We're
I'm
losing it.
actually using the
Oh,
labels too. They have TP1 and 2. That's what I'm going. That's what I'm going by. I'm not efficient enough to not use the TP labels, if that makes sense.
oh, it popped too quick and knocked me out. So that was kind of rude, but it knocked me out.
It happens,
I know. Well,
especially on 1 minute.
I still have my trailing stuff on. Ugh.
We got a full engulfed golfing candle on that 15 minute. That 15 minute where it popped up over that doji, it just engulfed that. So if it retests and then potentially gives us another buy signal, I mean, excuse me, sell signal, then we could have, maybe further retrace into the downside.
I'm gonna have to wait. I'll look for one more entry. Hold on, how many points is that? 90. 96s down to 46s. That's 50 points. So that's a 50-point drop. I could have got a little bit better. Oh, I don't like the idea of selling right here, but
Yeah, I think we falling hard.
Yeah, I think it's done its push for the day.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Okay, so you're using market structure for your take profits, where I'm using the labels. My labels are probably a lot closer.
so let's talk about this. We've got a nice bullish candle. We're technically forming what I was calling an IOU. So it's going to be really hard to see here, but there you go. Now you can see it a little bit better. I'm going to lock that so I can't manipulate it. If we break above here, Robert, these lines are very faint. I could make them a little bit stronger. If we break above here, notice how tight that stop is. I can go get 1, 2 targets, right? In real time. So we're closing above now. We're moving above. I would have played this as take an entry, take profit 1 and done, because that's a 1-to-1 using a very tight stop. In this case, it's only going to be a tiny amount of points, right? So that one's gone. It's done. But you could have participated in that before it even happened.
Right.
Here we go again. We've got a bearish candle. You can see how this is painting. This setup right here without the labels is IOU, with the labels is inside out, and then the box is the range. That's 3 separate strategies. But watch, if price, since I know I want to sell, I could literally put a pending here and a pending here. As we get closer, we've got 30 seconds left on this candle. And again, this is fast.
So there's a lot of different ways you can use this.
A lot of different ways. So I cannot give you some quick instant answer.
Yeah,
There's so many ways.
I noticed the lines will keep paying until a label pops up that says buy or sell, and then at that point it'll stop. But then it can go away too. So
So wait, this one was a valid sell idea, but you can be participating in it. So right now the IOU is done, but this all plays out. So it's, there we go. Now we're selling off again. Nothing here. We'll kind of just watch this with this on for a second. That's an inside out. This is an IOU, which would have paid you. This is an IOU, which would have paid you using that range, right? Just using the breakout of that range. That's an inside out that paid you. Not all of them will, but your stops are quick and they should be reasonably painless. We're also coming up on 50% of the 15-minute range, guys, and that imbalance. That's where we wicked off of and stopped at the 540s.
in this case, you're waiting for price to break above or below the IOU. Is that what I'm looking at?
On my screen?
Yeah.
I don't have anything on my screen for IOU or.
No, I was looking at the previous ones. Or those previous boxes, as you were just
Do
pointing
you
at.
mean the range? This range?
Oh, those are not RUs, they're just ranges. Okay.
That's the third thing. So we've got inside out has the buy sell label. The box is the range, okay? And then IOU is the very small faint. Mine are turned pretty faint right now, but when it pops back up, I'll show you. And really, you could have one screen on the 1 minute, 30-second, 5 minute, 2 minute. Like if let's say I'm looking for a sell, I can just load up a couple of charts and wait to get the signal. Take it with a tight stop, one and done. Now, the hardest part with systems like this, and I think breakout and other things, is you have too many trades on the day. You have vastly too many trades on the day that it's just, you're over trading. Like what Magic is doing, he said he's allowed 3 stop outs. He took 2. He would have taken 1 more. This one played out, right? Cool.
Especially on
But
1 minute, yeah.
he took them with the way he's trading, and that's it. And not every day is going to be green. Not every day is going to be easy. Some days it's going to feel like a chop fest, but we also have to be able to mentally and emotionally handle that without like vomiting all of those feelings on everybody else. That's a big deal. Okay, here we go. That's it. That's it. IOU. See these faint lines, Robert? Look at my screen if you would.
Oh, okay. So that's a complete, okay. See, I thought that and the inside out were all kind of one thing, but it's 2 separate things. Okay.
No, right now we
Now that
don't
makes
see this
sense.
staying on the chart. So if this breaks out to this, since this is a bullish candle, let this close. It looks like it's not gonna form because it's gonna probably break out above this before it. So there we go. Now it's no longer valid. But if this, let's say, stayed inside this range, was inside, this would have got you in, right? For the inside out. That's the actual one with the label. What you see happening right now playing out is IOU. Meaning there's a lot of ways to use it, but it's buying. And just take that first take profit level, that first green line, you're going to get a whole crap load of micro scalps, easy micro scalps. especially on this kind of time frame.
One idea I had was have a pending buy and a pending sell lines already there, but like away from the price enough.
You see
And
those?
then as soon as those lines pop up, you can drag the lines to wherever you need to.
So for example, you can literally buy here and look, it would be hitting that target before this even is done repainting, okay? And that's not repainting, it's not a strategy we want to keep in there. So I might have him just turn that all the way off because we're not currently letting it sing on chart anyways. But that is
Right.
another way to use inside out candles that I use it that way. I just think that's really hard to teach and to use for most people. That look, don't listen to me. Look back at the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? If this has a 60 to 70% edge, okay, factor in some human error, okay, glitchy stuff, internet stuff, market's stupid, all this, all the things. Figure you're averaging even the 1-to-1, you are net profitable, okay? And like I said in the instructions when I sent it out, which I'm going to go find it and repost it, that last thing I said in that nice long paragraph, here we go. Watch how this forms. If this stays inside and then the third candle breaks out to the downside, this is telling you to be prepared. So you can use it as an active signal. Sorry, I'm going all over the place, guys. This is either A, telling you to be prepared, or B, gives you an active signal for a third strategy. So that's what this is telling you right now. Oh, we're breaking out to the
There it
upside, so
went.
it can't be
Yep.
that.
So at what point would you actually place a trade?
Which one?
Like when that comes back up.
Those? I'll teach on that later. I
Okay.
don't know. Or honestly, I think we're gonna have it. I'm gonna disable it.
Oh, that's right. You just mentioned that. Okay.
It's a very fast-paced way of using inside candles. So it gives you real-time enter now. I currently have mine set to turning it off when it's gone. You can keep them on. Hold on. I know how to do this in theory.
I think
So,
mine's deselected. Yeah.
yeah, so you can have it to where it stays on. So you can kind of see what it looks like. But the thing about the IOUs is it's either direction. Inside out is only in the same direction as the parent candle.
Right. Okay. Sorry for extending the question, but now that I've realized those are two separate things, if you're using the inside out of, well, I think you already kind of answered that though. Where would you set the take profit? Because like I said, I use those labels, but maybe those labels are not meant for the inside out.
They're loans with they are meant for inside out.
Okay. That's making more sense.
Here we go. Bullish candle. We got 4 seconds left. It looks like it's going to try to close outside. So now this is a valid inside candle. So this tells you I can get prepared to buy. If we break out to the upside. So notice how we don't have a signal yet. So bullish, this is inside. This has to come up and break above to give us a signal. If not, you can also use IOU. That's the value of this right here.
It has to break above that gray area,
It has to break above this
above
child
that candle.
candle.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. The candle before. Okay.
So by the time the child candle closes, you could preemptively put a pending order in. Like you don't have to trade that way, but you could. Notice how the IOU disappeared right here because we ended up breaking to the downside of this, right? So we're still inside the
So
parent range,
invalidated it. Yeah.
but we invalidated IOU. We have not invalidated inside out. So
I
is
think
that,
we're headed back up.
do I think we're headed back up?
I think we're headed back up.
We got 4 minutes left on that 15-minute candle. So
Kind of like like the way it highlights the white candle because it gets your attention.
you see this right here. This one doesn't play out on that third candle, but you still have a valid buy idea right here at the 571s. You're already at 581s. That's 10 points and done.
Wow.
20 points and done.
And those other lines are your potential take profit levels.
So coming back to this, you have your parent candle. Well, so you have a inside candle here, but we never break to the downside. You have another bullish candle here, child candle. So parent, child, as we get right here, you're buying. You've got take profit 1, take profit 2, if you're using the bottom of the parent range, like, and you have multiple stop loss options. Multiple. So child candle low or high, child candle 50% is the tightest. This is that mid-level. This is the biggest, giving it plenty of room. As you get better, you can kind of move up, but maybe start here and just go for a 1-to-1. Start with the parent candle and go for only a 1-to-1. That's it. If you want a starting place to understand the strategy and get comfortable with just how to do it, that's what I would do. And the settings that we're probably going to release for automation are probably going to be closer to that as a default, just because time alone, just timing alone. So here we go. We're back up again.
See, this makes a lot more sense now that you're explaining it.
We wicked off the VWAP. We wicked off 50% of the 15-minute range. Beautiful buy opportunities. I'm not very positive on the day. I'll show you guys where I'm at on the day. I'm not bad. I'm just not like woohoo green either. And you'll see the account that flopped. Okay. So on the day, that's $2,000 on the day, not a lot. I have to move this up to see. This is the master account, but remember that first trade that I lost technically had 2 entries on it because the first time I took the entry, it wasn't mirroring. So that loss is bigger than all the other wins. Some of them, I don't know why. This is Blue Guardian. I don't know why. I've already signed their agreement. I don't know why it's not taking any trades. If I have to re-sign out or something, but it's not taking any trades.
By the way, that Lucid, don't they have like I forget,
Yeah,
they have a new type of account that's very
the
similar
Flex
to
account.
TopStep. Yeah, that one. Yeah, that
I
actually
just
looks really enticing. What do you think about it?
I am in love. First off, their payouts are way fast. And the website's way fast. I love that you load up 5 accounts. Oh, wait. First off, use code 6FTC. Number 2, you can buy the account today. Okay. You can buy the account today, pass it. I know this is bad habits, but buy the account today, pass it today, and trade your funded account today. All of that today, like before the market closes. You can do all of that today. How cool is that? And their flex accounts, like you can get the daily payouts and everything. I've never used it. I just got some of those and I think they just launched it. But either way, it's really, they're great prices. I like them. Website's pretty seamless. I like it. I'm also getting better though. So I feel like number one, the best prop firm is the one that pays you. Okay. The one that you can get paid from. That's it. Uh, Apex, I think they have not approved. My stupid withdrawals are still pending, and I'm very upset about it. Like, you have to understand, have requested withdrawals twice from other firms, and I'm still pending there, and I don't have an email. Like, I don't have an email of why. So it's very hard. So I'm still letting that be my unicorn, but it's just their rules. I understand they're meant to make you a better trader, and I think it has made me a better trader trying to jump through those hoops, but it has been very, very much of a pain in the butt. So benefit again, 20 accounts is awesome. Their $40 activation fee makes it pretty cheap now in comparison. There's a lot of competition, so I feel like everyone's prices are kind of coming down, but so are some of the standards. So like Top Step now has a 50% on whatever rule. This one has a, hey, you can only do this. Take Profit Trader is a little bit more expensive right now with only 30% off. Every one of these, even Funding Ticks is changing the way they're doing with their withdrawals. When I signed up, you could still take out pretty much 100. You could take out as much as you wanted. Now you can only take out 50%. So everyone's got a lot of changes going on, but pick a couple and only do a couple of accounts. So figure 2 or 3 with maybe Take Profit Trader, use code 6FTC. Funding Ticks, use my darn link so I can get the code 6FTC. Lucid is good. I love Funded Next and Funding Ticks and Take Profit Trader. Blue Guardian, I've never traded on Tradeovate. In fact, as you can see, I don't know why those trades didn't get taken at all, but um, those are all easy. If you can show consistency, they're all easy. They're mostly easy. The trailing drawdown on the pro account for Take Profit Trader typically gets people in trouble. So go to half size and just build a buffer up. And then you can literally withdraw $500 like a couple times a week. Just $500, even on the 25K account. Like easily, honestly. With there's just so many options, guys. So many options. And now I'm trying these smaller accounts. So you got to think you only really need, depending on the firm, $50 or $100 a day is it. And that equals like literally 20 or $40,000 a month. Easy. Easy. So kind of cool.
And a
And
quick reminder about funding ticks, you got to trade, I think, is it once every 7 days or is it 10 days? I don't remember.
I have no idea.
Ask Robert how he found out. He got an email last night that says your account is now blown because you didn't trade within X number of days. I'm like, crap.
Actually, I'm gonna go back to my Apex to figure out. I don't have an email from them either. I'm mad. I'm sure I did something wrong, but at least email me so I can work on it, so I can request again in 8 days.
Yeah, that's the one silly thing that some of these prop firms with their rules of that you have to trade the account, for X amount of days.
But
Like,
at first, because it said the message said something about 5:20 p.m. and I thought it was trying to tell me I traded past, end of day. And I was actually in the middle of writing a response to their support. And I'm like, well, why did you close my account? I did not trade past 5 o'clock. And then I reread the message and then I remembered, wait a second, this is that weird one where you have to trade within 7 days or something. I was like, crap. So
But guys, keep in mind, some of these firms, and this is something that's another reason I'm backing off of Power Hour. Some of them don't allow you to trade like past 410. Some of them it's like 440. Oh, I got denied.
yeah, I use 4 o'clock as my stop. Some are 4:15, I think. I think Apex is up until 5.
Let's see if I got an email from these punks. Yeah, I said punks. Guys, come on. They took like, I don't even know how long, but they took a long time to give me this stupid denial. Anyways,
is there another denial from Apex? Is that what you're talking about?
yeah, I got denied again.
Oh my goodness.
What's the reason this time?
And I haven't traded the account now probably in 8 or 9 days. I better go put a trade on it because I
And
have,
it's very discouraging for someone who wants to try Apex because I was thinking about it the other day.
I'm sticking the 20 accounts, guys, at $50 a day is, look at this. There you go. There's your IOU.
At this point, since there's many more firms like out there that are good, it's getting to the point where if Apex is going to be like that, it'd be better to get your 20 accounts between like 4 or 5 other prop firms.
Well, I hear you, John, not Jonathan, but Robert.
That's
That's
okay.
what I was, that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
Having said that, you and I both know what a tedious responsibility it is to log into all of these different firms all the time. So imagine if Apex would just be a little bit better in terms of their rules. And I know I'm the problem. I'll own where I'm the problem. I get it. But that means I don't have to have 50 different logins to Tradeovate and syncing up 50 different things and setting up the PDLs and the PDTs on 50 different accounts. Like it doesn't matter. And the problem is they have now denied breakout. So basically the freaking account was traded only one strategy. So they can't say it's risky behavior. It was traded only with the breakout strategy on one of the denials. Okay, the other denial, there I literally have so much of a buffer there. There's no reason. So I'm gonna have to go in and figure out what all the reasons are. I'm gonna have to check my email, but it's a pain in the butt. I would love to have one login and just or two or three versus like five because you'd have to have like five firms to get 20 accounts. You'd have to have
Yeah.
a lot of firms.
Yeah, it's a hassle, but once you, I guess, adhere to the rules that they, the Bible rules that they have, um, and you do it just well, they will pay you out. So you just have to adjust. But the good thing is that you've created the buffer. So I think a lot of people had similar situations that have taken massive payouts, like yourself, have had one or two denials, and then eventually they got over that, and then they were able to initially get that big payout.
That's it. That's what I'm looking for. So it is honestly trading has felt better. Once you get past the buffer, guys, it's felt more realistic because before then I was very close to saying, look, I'm better off trading my own money. Look at that, beautiful. But now I think on enough of the firms, and not to say I've made mistakes, I am. I'm still blowing up. I'm still making dumb things. Some of it's my fault, some of it's technology, some of it's something, but it's always something. It's honestly, it's kind of cool because you can target your couple $100. You can get your, bigger days, your small days. You wait until the 7 days passes and you go take your $1,000, go take your $1,000, go take your 2,000 or whatever it is on whatever firm. Um, it's kind of cool. It's not a bad way to be at all. Not at all. It feels good. It's not as stressful because I know even if I blow up or make a mistake, which I'm trying to make less of, I'm desperately trying. I know that I can build it again. I just know it's fine. It's going to be another 2 week process to get past either the days or the buffer or whatever else, 2 or 3 weeks, and then it's fine. So it feels a little bit better.
I don't, I don't know if this is, I'd have to look back in time. I was looking at your chart. I have to look back in time to see if this looks the same. I noticed on those with the buy labels,
Uh-huh.
um, I'm curious on where to take profit, but I noticed on those two anyway, if you just trail by candle, you would get a lot of profit out of it.
Yeah, not always, but yeah. I mean, look, look, I'll put the labels on for you, Robert. You have the labels on yours, right?
Yeah, labels are on. That's where I was confused because I thought those lines and the labels and all of it is like inside out, but it's separate things.
Tiny. There you go. I put it on tiny just because I don't want them, I would want them smaller than even tiny allows. But this is where you're entering, right? Take profit one, take
Well,
profit two.
that's another question. That's not where it would enter. It actually enter at the bottom of the next candle because that's where candle would close.
No, no, I don't understand what you're saying. As a manual system, okay?
Oh,
Thanks
wait a
for
minute.
the
Are
pious
we talking about the
explanation,
inside
Bob.
out or are we talking about the other?
I'm talking about this right here. This right here, inside out. Do you see
Okay,
it?
now I'm confused.
Okay, the one with the labels on it.
Yeah,
Okay.
because if I use and I'm talking that's if I use alerts though. That's what I was getting at. I was using alerts, and the alert would come in at the bottom of the next candle because it would be the close of that candle. That may be where I'm making my mistake.
Well, right now we don't have this designed for the alerts. We're releasing this in 3 parts. So the visual aspect, one and it does have a bug and needs to be fixed. The alert aspect is a separate set system that in theory you're going to get an alert when this candle's setting up. But remember, that's a lot of alerts if you try to use the 1 minute, Robert, because you'd have
Oh,
like,
well, I wasn't. If I do it manually, it's not gonna be 1 minute. That's for sure. 2 minutes is pretty decent, but
but I'm talking manual. I'm not talking about your alerts. I'm saying you're watching the chart, you see this setting up, you see this forming, you could either put a pending right here. I'm gonna draw a with this one because I can delete it easier. This second candle, the child candle is setting up. You know you're looking for a buy. You could decide to put a pending right here. Okay. And this is the order of operations I would do this. I would put my pending down. My pending entry is step one. Okay. My pending buy at whatever entry that I need. I would put my pending take profit, like let's say I'm going for 1.5 to 1, I'd put it in between take profit 1 and 2. And then I would put my stop loss. Okay. I would put it in that order. So 1, 2, 3. Remember, this is meant to be quick, especially on the smaller time frames. So remember, let's say I'm moving up now, I can decide, hey, I'm gonna move this take profit up a bit if I wanted to be a little bit greedy, and I'm gonna move my stop loss up here. So I'll change the color for my next steps, right? So I got step 1, 2, and 3. If price is now moving in my favor, I can decide, hey, I'm going to try to slide this up a smidge and I'm going to slide up my take profit a smidge, which remember, more often than not, you're going to get knocked out if you do that. Okay. Just being honest, you're going to get knocked out. So do it with a grain of salt, but you can start edging up your stop loss, edging it up, edging up your take profit, just trying to capitalize on a little bit more. And then there you go. One trade and done. Not all trades will win. Okay. You will have losses. But if you can follow the system of, hey, I'm going to take 1 to 3 a day, you might find some amazing things. For you particularly, my friend, I would highly recommend you coming in here and clicking this button, remove candle after line entry. It's going to take out those IOUs, which I'm sure are just confusing for right now. So take those out. Uh, Keep that
now
on.
they're sorry.
No, go ahead.
Those but until that candle closes, can't all those labels and all those lines just disappear?
Until this candle closes?
Yeah.
Yeah, this candle needs to close, yes. There's still going to be evidence of this on the chart though. So you're still gonna like what Scott and I would call it is an evidence box. So these boxes are still going to be here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you're still going to have evidence of that setup. And so here, either way, so let's say this is a buy, this isn't there, it doesn't take off. Let's find one that's failed. Buy inside candle. This is an IOU, but we're not trading those, so I'm gonna stop talking about them. This would have actually won. We've got buy. Here we go. This is a good
I'm
example.
sorry if my questions aggravate you, but some of this is
No,
just, it's
it's
a lot of
okay.
stuff.
No, that's okay. Questions don't. Energy does. Okay. Questions don't aggravate me. They're always welcome. Okay. But coming at it with an open mind and receiving the information you're given, I think is super important. So let's talk this one right here. I'm gonna use my annotation. Oh, there it is. So we've got the parent candle, which is a bullish parent candle, right? We have the child candle, which is inside of that parent candle. You see these two candles, 1 and 2?
Yes.
Okay. This is an example of one where, yes, it would have disappeared because why? We have that setting up and this candle does break above, right?
It wicked up and came back down, probably.
Absolutely. So in that case, this would have been your take profit 1 and 2, give or take. I know it's not accurate. Either way, you definitely didn't hit take profit 1 or 2. We agree?
But you still would have entered, correct?
Maybe. Yeah. So like if I'm
Okay,
trading
okay.
this as a strategy,
That's what I was wondering.
this would be a loss. This would be a losing trade. But, and this is a big but, parent candle, child candle, you can wait for it to enter here. And that's why the lines that are right now, the IOU is such an important thing is when we break above this candle, you can technically enter here. Okay.
Because it still went above the child candle.
That's an earlier entry.
Yeah.
Again, you can put your stop loss below the body of that candle, the edge or the edge. So it's 3 spots you can put it at, actually 4 because it's 50% of here, here, or here. That's 4 spots and trade that. That is a valid entry method. Now, granted, I think that's too confusing for where you're at just yet,
It's a little
but
advanced. Yeah.
I want you to know that this system, there's a lot of things possible. No, it will not always win. This is a good example of a losing trade, okay? Because this is a valid parent, child, breakout. It breaks out in the same direction as the parent, right? So parent, break out in the same direction, child stays inside. This is a complete, honest to God, valid setup. It's a losing setup. Cool. This one loses. So depending on what you're using as a stop loss, if you're using 50% of the candle, your stop loss would have been here. So reasonably tight. I don't know what that is exactly. Figure 10, 15 points. Or you're using the end of the child candle, or you're using the end of the parent candle. Any of those are valid stops. So you took a stop, cool. That's fine. And this is one of those unavoidable spots because look, you end up ranging. Now
Yeah.
you don't know when you see these 3 candles that you're going to end up ranging for the next 2 hours. Like we had no way of knowing that, but
I
you trade
wish we
what you
did.
see. I'm sorry.
I said I wish we did, but we don't.
Right. So look, you trade what you see. So look, let me get all that stuff off for a second over there. We end up ranging for this entire many, many candles, which you have no way of knowing when that happens. You don't know if it's going to continue, if it's going to, you have no way of knowing. This is just a range market. It's any strategy is going to be affected in a market like this.
Super thin bodies as well on those 3
Yeah.
candles.
But what happens? This is just it's not a great trade zone. It's just ends up staying still. Tempting. A lot of these candles are tempting. Like this one was very tempting. We took the high, tempting, came back down, tempting. But this was all consolidating, just like right now. Right now, I love the boxes actually probably just as much as I like the inside outs.
On that candle, the candle that shows the buy label, I'm just using that for a reference. Those lines would pop up at some point. You can go ahead and make your entry where it says, but it's a possibility that could still disappear because it's still in the same candle, but you're still in the entry and you're still setting your take profits.
Yeah. So,
Okay,
well, wait, let's say,
if that makes sense.
here we go. There we go. Now we're selling down. Maybe one more sell.
Maybe we'll get an example here, but
Yeah, I'm in that still too.
Oh, I kind of want that sell even just down into here, guys.
see, my mistake was thinking that candle had to close before I make an entry, but not using that.
No.
Okay.
So sell,
And my mistake was as soon as that, if those happen to disappear within the same candle, that invalidates, but that's not true either.
I'm taking one more sell, guys. Let's see how that plays out. But while we're letting that play out, some in that trade can't in that trade. I would like this not to knock me out this time if possible. I'd like to
Yeah.
capitalize on a little more, so I'm gonna delete, turn this off and then drop my buy stop. That's pulling against me already. Lovely entry.
Wow.
Lovely entry. Okay, Robert, check this out. So what was I gonna say? I'm gonna come up here, start new. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna turn off all the, keep those on,
I'm
draw
trying
lines
to
off.
let's
Okay,
see.
so here we go. We have a bullish candle. This is 1040, right? We're hanging out. We've got some bullish momentum. We're above the moving average. We're kind of rejecting off of a baby fair value gap. Bullish candle, inside candle, right? And then here we are. This one's also a doji. So we're kind of now forming a range. Uh-oh. I'm going to go. This is not ideal because it only goes off the candle closes. There we go. We have this inside. So this is our IOU painting. Now you don't have to have this painting. And in fact, I think because teaching it is going to be hard, I think it's a great strategy to use for people, but I think it's going to confuse somebody like you a lot, at least until you
Yeah,
get
I
comfortable.
prefer to start with the basics and try to work my way up to stuff like
I know, I know.
that.
This right here is its own, it gives you everything you need to know. So like even if I wanted to take the aggressive entry early, let's say I am looking for the buy, at this point right here, I can start looking and put my pending order.
Is your
at
chart
this.
frozen?
I'm sorry?
Is your chart frozen? The price is not even moving.
I hit the rewind button so I can show you.
Oh, okay, my bad. I didn't see that. I was like, your chart completely stopped. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so here we go. Bullish candle, inside candle. This one kind of is breaking all around. Okay, cool. We're still inside of this range. I mean, the whole idea is valid. It's never going to print exactly perfect. There's a lot of stuff that goes in. There's a lot of just wicks up and down. Here we go again. We've got this now IOU is painting. Okay, this one is the one that's just kind of giving you an example. You can decide to put that here, super tight stop, obviously. You don't have to, but it gives you a potential trade idea or at least an area to look at, right? So again, we still don't have it popping up just yet. There we go. So now you knew this was coming before this happened. So I'm going to go back one candle.
And actually answer my own. I was looking at my chart because I had another question, but I answered it myself looking at my chart. Since those entry labels are always green, I was wondering how do you know whether to go up or down, but you see where it prints to take profits. That's how you know which direction.
Mm-mm.
I'm using the labels though.
No, this one doesn't have labels, sweetheart. This one is IOU. This one has no label. So you notice how this will show you that if we break out of this inside candle pattern in either direction, it shows you entry is going to be the blue line or the white line. Take profits are going to be the green line, or the green
Yeah.
line, the green line. Okay.
Yeah, on this one I would set a pending buy and sell
So
on those lines. Yeah,
if you wanted to trade it that way. Now, again, I probably wouldn't start there for you for right now,
I'm
but
not.
your stop loss would be really tight. Okay. And it kind of shows you. But most importantly, if this is a bullish candle, you now have an idea of what you're looking to see happen. So now if I go forward by one candle, okay, if I had my pending set here based off of IOU, which are those fainter lines, I would have been in 29, so 4 points earlier. Or of course, I would have one kind of setting up here, okay? I'm placing my entry here, and now I'm going to see what we can get, right? If I'm going for a one-to-one, and maybe start with a one-to-one is probably a good idea. Start with a one-to-one, just get comfortable, okay? Otherwise, then you can kind of go to that center line, and then of course you can go for the 2-to-1s. Remember, your 2-to-1s, you're going to lose more frequently, okay? But you're going to have a better, risk to reward. So it's always a give and take. For now, just to get the wins and the buffer coming, I would definitely target closer to the 1-to-1s or the take profit ones in any of the strategies that you're using. I don't care if you're using the range, the label range is 1, inside out with his labels is 2, and IOU has the lines is 3. So it doesn't matter which one. Start with the smallest targets for now. We're in the trade now. We've just hit take profit 1 and halfway through take profit 2. We're halfway through, 1.5. And there you go. So how you manage this, there's 100 ways you guys can do this. It's totally up to you. But, choose wisely. So if you want to trail by candle, you can, but you're going to get wicked around a lot. So you want to say, hey, no, I just want my safe, whatever, my safe 2 to 1, and I want to try to trail it up a little bit. You can. Lots of options, but for now, start kind of small. I'm going to close out of this though, because I want to see what actual price is doing. We're up. We're in profit.
Well, that makes a lot more sense now. I'm glad you went over it.
I don't usually have um the labels on. I think that's annoying. But
Well,
we're
that's for us newbies.
Oh, excuse me.
come on out.
Oh, I almost forgot. John had a question earlier about when this is automated, are we gonna also use Pick My Trades with this?
If you're trading from TradingView, you have to. So I know John has a great trade copier from MetaTrader 5 that I can't wait to play with. I just haven't had time. So we're releasing it on TradingView and then MT5 and Ninja. So it's gotta think, especially if you just get 1 or 2 trades a day, your odds, good, bad, ugly, the ones that fail, all of it are very, very high. You're going to average. I mean, even I think achieved, um, you're up 30 points, give or take. I'm up 30 points.
What, using my example, if you're just doing one contract and your goals as around $100, $50 to $100 a day, you can easily do that in 2 or 3 of these.
Yeah, because it's going to be really hard to risk less than 50 bucks on MNQ. It's just hard to achieve that on MNQ. So let's see, guys. We've got 570s. This is going to kind of fill that 2-minute imbalance. Magic, what are you targeting to the downside? I know this is your 4th trade of the day, isn't it?
Yeah, I only took it because I got a successful because I got a successful in the last one. My target, I would like to see us come all the way back down to, well, my target is the same, the 2500s. And then if we break the 2500s, I want us to come down to 25,370s and maybe take that low. A lot of liquidity sitting right there. So first target, 500. Second target, 360s, 370s.
We're coming, guys. We bounced off the VWAP. We have this nice imbalance up here to the upside. I like the 540s. I like the 500s. And then if we're losing those areas too, I would like to see us close that gap, which is the 400s.
Bear in mind, people, if you're only allowed to take 3 trades and your third trade is a winner, you're not allowed to take more than 1 trade after that. Well, that's just, my money management method.
Oh no, I'm trying to not do that.
In
I'm
terms
trying
of,
to say nope. I'm trying to say if I've taken 2 losses, I am done. And I might change that now that I'm kind of scaling down in micros. But right now, if I take 2 trades, I want to be done. And I'm not saying I'm there because my ego gets the best of me and my psychology and my emotions are like, watch me make this better.
But I guess it depends on your strategy too, because
Yes.
my strategy, sometimes it can be right, but like if you're picking tops and bottoms, you're gonna have to be comfortable with getting knocked about sometimes if you're not willing to hold the trade. And I'm not willing to hold the trade once it's a significant drawdown. So I'd rather get knocked out, especially if I'm in a peak position, and then wait and to see if price is respecting the area that I marked up and then get in again.
Well, yeah, good point. It also depends on your strategy. So maybe as I start cutting my losers quicker, I wouldn't mind taking more than 2 losses. But for now, my rules, and I would encourage you guys all to kind of create your own rules a little bit, right? So
Yeah.
mine now are 2 losing trades, and I'm done. I know I'm trying to be. I'm not saying I'm doing it all the time because sometimes I'm like, watch my ego blow this account real quick. Hold my beer or watch me, you know. So I'm being honest. Otherwise my goal is two losing trades, three trades in total. Like that's my, I'm trying to achieve that, meaning win, lose, or draw. I don't want to take more than that. Like I'm not there perfectly, but if I can hold true to that 70 to 90% of the time, I'm doing pretty good. So we'll see. We're coming up on 500s. I'm trading less size. So in theory, I should be able to let my runners run a little bit and to afford the kind of pull up and down. This is not a trailing one. So now this won't kind of move with price. I'm going to go ahead and lock, what is that, 11 points of profit. I'm going to go ahead and move this down. We know we've got down there at the 400s. In theory, my the accounts that have PD personal daily targets are going to get knocked out. Blue Guardian still did not take any trades. I don't know why. I'm gonna have to message them and find out because that's weird. Um, my PA account, the one that I'm trading still is hit goal 1500 on the day, so it's done trading, which is good. But that's the one trading minis because it's a bigger account.
What's a PA account?
That's the Apex funded.
Oh, okay, okay.
Ah, Top Step froze again. Unbelievable.
Man, I don't want you to win, bro. I don't want you to win, man.
This is insane, man. Like you
That's
can't even make this
unacceptable,
up.
bro. You can't do that in trading. You crazy?
Exactly.
Jonathan,
I
that
have no
kind of
words
stuff.
right now. I have no words.
You
And
want to
then
say
you were defending the top step guys the other day when they were getting dissed by the people. I was like, yo.
put your foot in your
Well,
mouth now, huh, Jonathan?
yeah, I think I might be one of those agitators at this point, for sure.
Come on, you
This,
sell off, sell off.
We're not doing bad, guys. That's 100 points in profit. No, that's about 80 points in profit. Okay.
Hey, Jonathan, you took a look at any of those videos? Yeah,
no, I've been tied up. I've been tied up from the holiday weekend, but
true,
definitely this
true,
week I'm diving. I'm ready.
true. All right.
That 15-minute candle just broke the previous 15-minute wick, which is awesome. We want this to close strong bearish if we're going to try to those 400s. So,
Yeah, if let me see. Okay, let's see how it looks on the 1 hour.
but
Okay,
are we expecting a bounce? We got 1 minute left on this candle.
yeah, we're bouncing off of that fair value gap on the 1 hour. So
Oh, I want you just to drop.
yeah, if it drops aggressively, we're definitely coming down to like
That's
the
a
four
100-point trade.
the 420s probably.
420. Okay, let's go. That's 100 points. 530s, 630s, 530s, 100 points.
I was saying it was gonna drop, it just wasn't ready yet. So I
Yeah,
think we finally at that point.
yeah, because the 1 hour wick um on this candle basically came up and tested the 1 hour bearish order block on Wednesday, the 12th, and then rejected it and coming back down.
Let's
So
go.
that's a good sign.
I like how this hourly candle is looking. It just engulfed the entire other candle, but I don't want it to form some strong wick to the upside either.
Oh, my apologies. I was looking at the 4 hour. So it bounced off of 4 hour order block, which is even better in terms of resistance. Let me pull up the 1 hour.
Yeah. Rather than for our point of interest, and then even that was a daily. If you were looking at the daily, that was basically a
Oh, yeah.
daily like big interest level of interest where the initial drop originally happened. So even
Oh,
if it was
yes, yes,
bullish,
yes,
you
for
could have
sure.
expected some buy sell pressure.
Yeah, because that is premium. That's deep premium for sure.
Absolutely.
Because the reason I sold yesterday after the run up is because when price came back up into the discount level that it was failing to break, I was anticipating because it was, I think, maybe about a few seconds before the close of the candle, and it was higher than the top of the new week opening gap. No, it was higher than the Yeah, it was higher than the top of new week opening gap seconds before the candle closed. So then when I entered my position, I think it was 10 to 15 seconds, it closed back into the top of the new week opening gap. And that was my indication to hold it. If it closed above, I would have closed the trade. So we're in deep. So we were in discount yesterday when we came back up and peaked and then came back down, and now premium, sorry, and now we're in deeper premium after that candle wicked up and showing some resistance on the daily 4 hour and 1 hour.
Well, we're getting a bounce now, guys, but we're also bouncing off of, was that pre-market high or yesterday's high?
Yeah, so that's a significant area.
And also VWAP. So I like that we got below it and that now we've got this wick. So if we can hold this area, I'd like to hold for more. But I don't want to give back more than 560s. Like, and it's probably going to test right into that at least. It's crazy to think that one micro equals $200 on the trades taken. Okay, the good, the bad, and the ugly. One mini equals $1,500. Like that's a significant difference, guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's significant. Very, very. But we'll see. We're green on the day.
So
I
you
don't
trade minis or micros, Jen?
like I said earlier, what I'm mostly doing micros, but one of the significant changes I'm making right now is instead of before I was mirroring minis to micros. That's a horrible example because then when it flops everything and the accounts that can't hold it, it messes up. Then I've tried a lot of things on a lot of different copying softwares and setups, but what I was doing most recently, and I did really well last month. So it held pretty well, probably only a 20% error ratio, give or take. But I was doing the accounts that I wanted to be bigger, I would multiply them, right? So for example, on
Mm-hmm.
the master account, I'm trading one, the other accounts would be multiples of that one. I think that in terms of copying software has more glitches, but what I'm trying now being December is I'm trading less on my main account, which is very hard to do, by the way.
I know the feeling.
And then the accounts that have room, those are the ones I'm multiplying. So I think this might be a little bit safer. So instead of trading like 3 micros on this one or 4 micros on this one and then cutting those ones in half, I'm trading 1 micro here and then the accounts that have room, I'm on a mini. There's only a few of them that I'm on a mini. The rest of them I'm on a micro. But I think it's more manageable because if, for example, if I take 4 contracts on this, 4 is not that many for some setups, but the math gets janky and then it ends up swapping contracts. I took a buy, it flopped for sells when I closed, which creates a hedging rule. And hedging cost me all of my take profit accounts a few weeks ago. Well, and that's stupid. So it just a lot of
Great.
good stuff.
Yeah. Rules, man.
I'm trying. I'm trying to find a system and create the system that is going to, handle as much of the error as possible. There's no way to handle it all. Um, oh, there we go. We just lost that level. Nice. Okay, 520s. We're getting it. So this is what she looks like on the Ninja Trader. Again, Blue Guardian didn't trade. This is the PA account that hit targets. So we'll see. We'll see how this all pans out.
Yeah, I think it's a strong possibility we might come down to the 350s.
350s. That's going to be quite the ask. It's going to be quite the ask because we've
But
got
it's warranted.
Oh God, I think so. But yesterday's closing price is 400. So I think that's an easy target. We've got yesterday's high and pre-market high. We need to get below the 498s to really confirm that. And then if I go off screen to see some of my retracement levels, you said 350s?
Yeah.
I want 350s.
Me too. I'm holding for 350s.
Well, the 350s, let me go to the 30-minute time frame.
Think I'm out for the day, but you guys got me tempted to get back in, but I'm not going to.
It's too late, bro.
Yeah.
Too late.
Oh, okay. I do have it may or may not matter. I do have an area of interest that starts at 490, so it could stall a little bit there.
490. Let me see. 490. Okay, so that is just above the new week opening gap that we bounced from this morning, that I refused to buy at.
How about that?
So if it does break the 490s, 480s, yeah, we drop in like there's no tomorrow.
If we can break the 490s, that's gonna give us the 370s. Okay, easy. Because
Easy.
that level I was looking at from this morning, that micro level I said that we did trade, that's the 380s. We traded that halfway back to push up. So we did great there. But now same anchor, new high. We've got 370s.
Yeah, I think that's a good a
And
good target.
my shaded area may or may not matter, but the entire shaded area for that area, I've got it's like 479 to 490 is that whole area that I've got drawn up.
Very drop.
So this right here is a 130-point trade, caught live on stream, blah, blah, blah. No. Sorry. I choked myself with that level of sarcasm. Sorry. Anyways, not a bad trade. I'm happy to hold it. It's nice having less size because I can afford to hold it.
Yeah. So my first target just hit. Hopefully we come down to the 370s.
Oh, she's
Yes.
dropping out.
Yes. Come on, do the damn thing.
Now I'm gonna move at least to 350s. I'd like to maybe protect a little bit more. The 550s, I should say. Let's get those 370s. Come on.
Yeah, here is a deciding point.
Holy crap. Sorry.
Either
Full
we
disclosure, I did do a inside out trade just now, 1 minute, just to test what I just learned. And I found out that that little entry label will pop up if you have the alert set at once per bar.
Yeah.
And as soon as they alert it, I entered a sale there and I set my take profit on that label at TP1. I just made 112 ticks in like 20 seconds.
Yes. Robert, it's going to be a lot to learn. And again, don't overdo it. You're going to burn yourself out and you're going to make mistakes. But listen, if you can get one or two trades like that a day, okay, one or two, honestly, it's life changing potentially. The hard part is not over trading, not getting discouraged when the time that, oh my gosh, you set the alert, you took it and it popped the other direction. It's going to happen. Okay. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit more. We've got 160 points on this trade and still dropping.
good trade for sure.
I'm going to lock in 130.
If it holds here for another 2 seconds, it'll be below my area of interest. It was right on the bottom edge of it.
Yeah, it looks like it's. Let me pull up on the higher time frame. On the 1 minute, it looks good, but you can't really depend on that all the time.
I'm really tempted to like log into one of my other TradeAway accounts and just like double down on some of it, but I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah,
I'm not
That's where you
gonna
get in
don't do it,
trouble.
Jen.
do it.
Warning, warning.
I
Yeah,
don't have any more accounts to pass. Like, I don't have any like, oh, let me just go get some like blow it up real quick, really big because I don't have any. They all are. Well, wait a minute.
Yeah, I'm way past my area of interest now. So, and the
yeah.
next one I've got drawn up is 370.
I
Yeah,
like
Next.
we like the well. Look at that. We all like the 370s. That's
Yeah.
sexy. Okay.
That's real sexy for sure.
Because look, we're all using different methods to find these areas of interest or like comparable but similar, different. And we all think that's a significant area. So not to say it's going to go straight there or not, but definitely it's got some value to that area.
Yeah, so I like how
Oh,
we closed on the 1 minute and below the top of the gap, the new week opening gap. So hopefully we hold around this area and drop lower, but I think we will.
And I know I've said this 1,000 times, but it's amazing how I can draw up these areas. Like last night, I think I drew them up, and how this price reacts once it hits those areas. It's just crazy to see it.
Robert, I'm excited for you to start seeing them because again, even just the areas of interest, you'll start to learn using those. Like let's say you're starting to sell and you have this target down there and you get an inside out like this, you get this right here, you can sell, you can hold a little bit longer. Or let's say you're in consolidation and you don't decide not to take it. You can say, hey, look, we broke above, we've been respecting my area of interest. Now I'm looking for the buy sides, and you get a little signal, whatever signal method you're using. There's so much potential there. We're coming up on a 200-point trade, you guys. 200 points.
That's how you do it.
I
I
wish
miss
I'd gotten
this.
in.
I miss this. This feels good. It feels peaceful.
Feels like Jenny's GBP USD swings, boy. I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm. It feels more like trading with the less size means I can treat this more like a trade versus a 10, 20 points, 10, 20 points, 10, 20 points, like a crack addict, Because that's what it felt like for a while. I'm like, okay, I can keep the account. I can keep it. I can keep it. And it just felt like Smeagol or something. I don't know what else to say.
I mean, so one of the rules, one of my trading rules is like do everything possible to not get to the praying stage. That was one of the rules that you really kind of drilled into my head. Like, if it's not going your way, just get out, bro. And like you can't you live to trade another day. So
Yes. If, if
yeah.
if praying is your strategy, I don't mean like checking your hearts. I'm big on giving it to God, okay? But if praying is part of your strategy, you probably need to revamp.
For sure.
Okay. We like it. We like it a lot.
And I just made back everything I lost from London and the early mistake in NY.
See, that's the value of a good trade, which again, I can't let these trades play out if I've got too much size.
Yeah, it's too risky.
And I'm surprised to find out that 2 or 3 micros is still technically too much size on a 50K or 25K account. Because it kind of is,
Yeah.
especially with markets that like the way we've been having, our ATR is huge. Like 2 or 3 micros, 4 micros is probably too much size for most of these accounts.
Jonathan, you got into the cell, bro, or no?
Yeah, no, I was in the cell. I'm already out.
Okay.
Nice. Hey, for the first time in a long time, I'm holding. I wasn't knocked out. Okay. That feels good.
Hey guys, this is a perfect time to ask. Well, first thing, Magic, are you from Antigua?
Yeah, Dan, where you from?
Antigua.
Which
I just
part?
recognize the accent.
Which
I'm
part?
Marble Hillside. I am Florida now though.
Okay.
Where in Florida?
South in Pembroke Pines.
Okay.
Marble Hill. That's on the north side.
North side, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay. When last you
Where
been
you?
home?
Last year, I usually go every year, but I just had a kid, so.
Okay, okay,
Which
okay.
side you from?
Pint and Villa. You don't know.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, 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 yeah. A couple people down that side. Sorry guys, Antigua is very, very small, so when I hear it's like only like 100,000 of us. So it's a very,
Or
very
Antigua.
even
small island.
or
Yeah,
even
it's very,
less.
hmm?
Or even less.
Even less. Yeah. So when I hear Antigua, it's like, is what a coincidence being in this same
Well, how
circle.
many people take you for Jamaican over there, bro?
Everybody, everybody. But anyway, sorry, not to get too off track. You guys, I still trade Forex, and I was just dedicating this month to try to transfer over to futures, and just hearing you guys talk, because I know most of you guys were here for a while. Um, Is there any kind of video or thing that you guys did, especially you, Jenny? I remember asking you before on our one-on-one, and you did a very good job explaining. But when I actually got the futures accounts, everything kind of just changed. Just like how you guys are talking about holding, I'm accustomed to trading one way. Is there anything that helped anybody to kind of make the switch?
Um, Honestly, so I remember our one-on-one, and honestly, you were such a light, and tell you that again. You were such a light to talk to, and I'm super grateful for you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Speaking of that, I'm gonna have my team reach out to you in terms of some other things that we talked about, because maybe help out a little bit in the community and all that good stuff. I did close my trade, guys. I wasn't gonna give too much back, but it is continuing in our direction. So, um,
I did schedule another one-on-one with you next week
Okay.
because I'm trying to get into the future space. I'm going to use this month because I know it's a slow month anyway, and try to dedicate the time. So by the time January comes,
You're ready.
um,
Okay.
yeah, I did use the advice. I did wait to get the Trading View Premium during the Black Friday, so then now I can apply all the indicators that you guys have, and now I'm really trying to get like started in the futures space.
Okay. I don't recall what your strategy was off the top of my mind, but
Uh,
go
The
ahead.
I use ICT, so I would wait
ICT.
for a sweep of London highs, London lows, hours, 4 hour daily, and then I trade the break. And I was want to ask too. I know you guys use FVGs, but I don't know. I usually do the breaks. I think you guys use it for like reversals, but I wait until it breaks on the 1 minute.
I like this is a cool indicator that it gives you the fair value gaps on multiple time frames. But yeah, we definitely use imbalances. If you're using ICT concepts, your strategy is already, built in. It kind of it's like baked in. Man, I closed a little bit too soon, but I have no regrets. So, anyways, your strategy is already, I think, primed for futures. So I don't think there's much to do there. I think the hardest part is learning contracts, right? So to start with, right now, honestly, all you have to do is just go to whatever you want to do. Make sure it's MNQ, MES, MYM, or MGC. Pick any of those. Okay. I think Bitcoin has a micro, but don't quote me. I don't know if they do or not. So
Oh,
pick any of those and stay away from the big ones, at least while you're learning, because you're going to blow up a lot. To give you an idea, NQ is worth $20 a point. Okay. MNQ is worth $2 a point. So this is the hard part. So having the indicator, both either of these indicators, the IOU, the inside out and or the breakout, will give you this data. And this data is going to be the biggest deciding factor. Like you already know how you're going to enter. The hard part is knowing how much risk you can afford and how many contracts. This is going to help with that because just to show you, if I drop this on my chart right here and I go in here and I say, hey, I want to risk $200. This is MNQ. I hit
okay.
OK. MNQ with the 50-point stop loss is literally one. So it's about two contracts, right? Two contracts. That's what it's telling me. So two contracts is what that's going to take. If I do the same thing on NQ, let's put that on there. And let's say I want to risk, oh, that is $200. I don't, my stop loss would have to be 5 points, I think.
So how I usually trade is I would take like partials
Okay.
and move my stop loss to entry. And I'm just not seeing those stuff too often with these quick in and out trades.
Uh,
What time frame you trade on?
The 1 minute
One.
usually with that specific strategy I use with NQ. Well, no, I didn't call it NAS, but I guess NQ
yeah,
because
thank you. Well, then you can do the same thing, MNQ. So just don't touch this, at least not until you get comfortable. But MNQ would mean you can take, let's say you have a 50,000 or $100,000 account. You can afford to risk 100, 200, $300. This trade right here, the same one that we took, you said you wait for the break of that fair value gap.
yeah. So
Okay.
I'll wait till it sweeps a high or low, and then it breaks through the fair value gap, and then I enter. And then I
Okay.
usually target. I know I guess it's different, but I think around 20 points. If
Okay. So we use a lot of ATR. I would highly recommend. I think that was the one feedback I gave you in terms of your manual stuff.
yes,
ATR, because sometimes 20 points is an awful lot in the market we're trading. Sometimes 20 points is a joke. It's like not even enough to cover the wick. So to me, the biggest thing is focusing a little bit more on ATR, but let's go with what you're saying, the 20 points. We swept the highs, we did. This swept the highs. It was after all the New York Open. We got our fair value gap. And I know this isn't your exact strategy, but this right here is a 36-point stop loss-ish. And if you're targeting 20 points, so where's your stop loss at on your strategy?
It would be a few pips or points above the fair value gap. So it would be very
So,
short, tight stop losses.
so
Either
did you,
that, if it's too tight, if it's too tight of a fair value gap, then I'll just put it above the high, a few pips above the high of the
so
reversal.
assuming you took either of these fair value gaps, right? Assuming you
Mhm.
took either of those, let's just say you took the better one, and we want to use the highs. You can take it to the lows, you can take it to the next fair value gap, you can take it to the VWAP or wherever you want to take it, or just your 1-to-1 or 2-to-1. And then there you go. So you can use the same strategy, but it's the amount of contracts. This right here on a $200 risk is 5 contracts. So like, for example, you get in, you scale out at that first like 10 points or whatever pips, you're bringing your stuff in to lock the profit. And then of course you're coming down, but just be careful because the more I lock profit, this moves pretty fast. Most of the time when I lock profit, I'll get knocked out. I'll get knocked out like right here.
Yeah, but I think the thing that was confusing me the most, especially last time when we spoke, was um, I could still be in profit and still blow the account because of how much drawdown it went, even though it's in profit from my entry. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying?
So let's use another example. I'm going to turn off all the indicators for a second. Let's say for whatever reason, we swept the high, we had a baby fair value gap right here. I'm just pretending for a second. And we
Hmm.
sold here. I'm gonna use the annotate from Zoom. Okay. Let's say we sold here. We were in profit now, whatever, let's just say that's 30 points. Okay. And we come up. If you're trading minis, this right here, let's say that's worth 700. This is worth
Hmm.
700. That's technically, it took up 1400 of your available drawdown, not 700. Okay.
Yeah,
This
that
only applies to some prop firms. So Apex is one of the ones it applies to. Did Funding Next have trailing? I think they have trailing on their funded accounts. But there's Take Profit Traders Pro account has it. Um, and then it goes away into Pro Plus. But you have to plan on that. So that's why sizing down. Okay. I can't afford to hold this trade like so unless I have smaller contracts. So that and or lock profit. So until you build up past the buffer, we talked about this in our meeting. Once you build up past the buffer you need in the account, then by all means you can hold a little bit longer. But until you do, take the 20 points, take the 10 points, take the 30 points, the 5 points, and just keep doing that until you have a big enough account that you're no longer trailing so much. Because then you don't have $2,000 of drawdown. Now you have $4,000 of drawdown. So you can kind of, and it's not trailing the same way. So that's the best thing to do in my opinion. I'm sure other people have different tricks, but I think across the board, across the internet, across the YouTube, when you're
yeah,
trying to get past the buffer, you guys just honestly take your 10, your 20 points over and over again and trade less size. Those are the two things you have to do. And then you can, trade a little bit more better to your strategy.
yeah, that's the mental shift that I need to, because if I took like the sell and I took it too early, even though my plan was like this, and it went down to where you guys are predicting it to go, I'll mentally be upset because I know when I'm trading Forex, I'd have got that whole move.
That's been hard. So I laugh with Hub about it. I've laughed with Kurt. He's the guy doing super well in our chat. We joke about it all the time because I'm like, man, if I just held this move, like, that's 6 figures. That's 20 grand. And I'm not even talking oversizing in Forex, right? Just
Yeah.
we were talking about NQ, this move to the upside. It was beautiful. Like this was amazing, but we're not holding in the same way, obviously, for futures. So for somebody like you who already has a decent skill set, keep your FX account, keep the one account or whatever you're doing it. And it's definitely a little bit of a mind twist at first. But if you
Mhm.
just keep those two things in mind, number one, you are trading smaller size until you have more of a buffer. And number two, you're more prone to take small baby profits over and over again. Think 10, 20, 30 points over and over again. Those are the only two things. And once you're past that, you do get to trade it like a real account a little bit more. You can see I still can't because I'm trading such a variety of different accounts. Like even on most of these accounts, I have to be careful. So on the days where I blow up really stupid, if you guys saw my running P&L earlier, I think the highest I saw it go was 23K. So that's a big difference, you know, that's a big difference in how much it ran up against me. My MA, what do they call that? MFE, my max, the max excursion in favor. That's what you're really working on, is just keeping where you're closing as close to the max run up as possible. Because otherwise you'll blow the account. And I still do it. I did it twice last month. Twice, where I blew a couple of my accounts on stuff like that, where I just my max run up, which they call that hold on, let me find it on my TradeZella. Bear with me. It was just
Another
high.
positive thing about futures too is, you know, where Forex, they get their data from different sources. With futures, it's like when you're in this case, CME, all the data comes from one source. So you have less price variance and things like that that you have in Forex.
I
That
did see that. Did you guys purchase the data thing on TradingView?
no, no,
I don't see that with my premium with the live data.
no. Mm-mm. So you can get data from the brokerages that you're using. So for example, Apex has its data. Ninja has a data you can technically purchase. Take Profit has their own CME data, but you'll get that data for free. So that's one of the expenses you can choose to take, but you don't have to because you're going to get it from the other firms.
Okay. Okay. And your firms are connected to the TradingView, but you don't enter your trades from TradingView, right?
Ever. No.
Yes. Yes, you do.
You can't.
I am.
Yes.
You can. Here, now that you got the whole gamma ray of opinions there,
Yeah.
I'm not in favor. This just hasn't updated all the way yet, but I am not in favor of entering on TradingView. Like not especially for like the micro scalping and the 1 minute time frame because the fills are not nearly as good as they should be. You're not going
Hey,
to get filled as quick.
Jenny,
Like
just click on resync and it'll update it up on the top
it
left. Yeah.
I do that all the time. I do it all the
Oh,
time. Like it's not doing, and
sometimes it's slow.
yeah, I'm gonna have to sign out and re-sign back on. I've signed out.
So I think what I've, yeah,
It's not gonna.
less price variance and less manipulation as far as price and stuff like that with futures versus
Yeah.
Forex.
I definitely want to make the switch. Definitely. I'm going to use my the Dragonfly on all my Forex accounts that I have currently, and then automate that, and then see if I can just
And of course, with
practice.
CME and these other places that are based in the US, they're highly regulated, so they have to be on top of that kind of stuff.
It's not updating. Um, Either way, it's not updating to show you that this max excursion against you. It's being a pain in the
Mhm.
butt. But back to your trading view question, in my opinion, they have slower fills. And don't just listen to me, watch the price move. So right now we're not in New York Open right now. So you can see right here, this is moving exponentially faster than what you're going to see here. So either way, especially something like New York Open, the fill is not going to be as favorable. It just won't be. There's no way around that. So even the people who maybe have a little bit longer term vision, by all means, enter on TradingView. But for most of us, we enter on Trade because this is the superior, fastest data, no bells and whistles, no indicators. This is it. This is the best place to be. Even Ninja Traders executions are not, they're not as fast. And if you think about it, if I go straight to the source, okay, which we're never going to the source, we're not placing directly with CME. We're placing from TradeAvate to CME. But if I place from TradeAvate, TradingView, I'm adding a step. So it's TradingView to TradeAvate to CME. So that by itself is already going to have a certain amount of lag. And you can watch this price, 499s, watch how slow this moves in comparison. And then do this one time at New York Open, one time during news. Watch how much this varies. It does vary. So to me, the
I'm
filter
not
is good.
I'm not promoting Project X whatsoever, but that's something I noticed too. When I used to have the Top Step X and Trading View side by side, you would see the price movement on Top Step X move just a little bit sooner than the one on Trading View.
Absolutely.
And it's noticeable too. It wasn't like it was like milliseconds, it was noticeable. Not huge noticeable, but enough. If your eyes can see it, it's noticeable, you know.
It was.
But
But yeah,
can you imagine that difference when the price is going crazy? It's gonna be exaggerated even more probably.
We still failed to close that gap. I think we still might. I could have held for a couple more points, but I have no regrets of where I got out because it was turning and I was like, I'm not giving any more back. We did it.
Yeah, we got out before the turn too. It was a wise decision.
Yeah, that worked out. I have no regrets. Um, it's still not updating.
See
And
that
once
that's
again,
very different. That's
my
very
area of
different because I'm
interest.
still holding.
I'm sorry.
No, I was saying sorry that I was saying that's why Forex is different because I closed partials in the first point and I just have runners, so it either hits my take profit or it goes back. Like I have a few lots left, running a couple $100, and it's just whatever happens, happens. See, I can afford to do that. And that's the difference where I'm trying to like mentally change.
Well, I will say like Magic's really good at the one contract. I know Jonathan does one contract on the 15 minute. I'm going to tell you the very honest truth. I have spent the vast majority of this year getting more comfortable with some of the aspects of this side of the industry because again, knowing how to trade, I've got that in the bag. Like I've got that. But the ins and outs of this one has a rule that says you can't do this. This one has a rule that says you can't do this. This one, the trailing drawdown or contract sizes and the have to close at the end of the day. And this one the market closes at 410. This one the market closes at 440 for some ungodly reason, which is just a random time. And then this one closes at whatever. There's a lot of nuanced things that are going to chop you up. And in my case, I think most of the mistakes I've made is also because I'm not trading one firm. I don't just have Tradevate on just take profit trader. I'm only on this one broker with 5 accounts. I'm trying to mirror one broker to like 8 other brokers, which in and of itself is kind of creating, a big gaggle of stuff. So for you, pick one. So pick like take profit trader. It's a very good one. Funding ticks, very good. A little bit newer. Funded next, very good. Check the link tree, use code 6FTC or whatever one applies, but pick that one and just start there. Start there with maybe 1, 2, max 3 accounts until you get good at it, knowing and I loved talking to you because I know that you understand there's going to be an expense, like there's going to be a learning curve. You're probably going to blow
Yeah.
up. If not for one reason, it will be another. It's part of this industry. Um, and as you perfect the process, but there's no secret key. I know YouTube wants to make it look like this one thing is the secret sauce to change your life. It's not. The best way, in my opinion, to get over the trailing drawdown is smaller size, number one, um, and or because technically you can do the bigger size, just you're getting your 10, 20 points. Like so if you're doing minis, believe it or not, you need like a couple 10-point trades. Like they need to be well timed, but all you need is a couple of 10-point trades and you're past that drawdown. So take those baby profits over and over again, those smaller targets over and over and over again. Boom, you're past the drawdown. You're good. That's the easiest way. And of course, size down. If you find that your entries aren't on point enough to allow you to afford the bigger lot sizes, just size down and take the baby profits over and over again until you're past it. That's all you're doing. Because
Okay.
once you build past it, guys, once you get like 3, 4 thousand in an account, you're no longer trailing the same way. Now you're just trading like you would feel like you're normally trading. And that feels so good.
And that's one thing that's probably good. I think it's Take Profit Trader. Is that's the only one that I know. There may be others, but it's the only one I've seen so far. To where when you start, it's end of day instead of trailing, but then when you get funded, it's trailing until a certain point. Then it goes back to end of day again.
Funded Next does that.
Okay, there's more
Yeah.
than one then. Yeah.
There's and again, the rules are always changing, which is something at first I was very mentally argumentative about. Like, so I would just be personally debating and, getting mad at them in my head. Like, how are they going to change the rules? I just got comfortable with these rules. How are they going to change the rules? I just figured out this one. But the truth is, I think we have to accept that we're playing on their field, right? And no different than when I'm trying to teach Noah or the kids or like the soccer team that, hey, if we're playing in their arena, our job is to bring our best skills and all of our talent, right, and our good attitude to the table and learn those boundaries. Because obviously, when you're playing like at certain complexes, their out of bounds is different. Their foul calls are different. Their red card standards are different. It's supposed to be universal, but it's not. It's a little bit different. So learning how to step into somebody else's arena and say, okay, I'm here to play and I'm going to do my best to play by your rules, even the ones I don't like. I'm going to do my best to play by them. And that's really all you're doing over and over again.
That's even true in the NFL. There are because officiating crews stay together, and certain officiating crews tend to make calls certain ways versus other officiating crews. So they probably keep notes about those as well.
Oh yeah, these boys there was literally a fist fight on the, soccer league what is it, maybe a month ago or so. It was rough because the ref made a bad call. Parents got in when they shouldn't have. Everyone's got an opinion. I'm over here trying to be the referee, like, no, 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 no. Because if that happened to your kid, you would also be upset. Like, come on. It was our team was in the wrong in this one. Like, we didn't start in the wrong, we just ended there. But everyone was, attacking the other team. I'm like, that's not cool. Because if that was
Oh,
your kid, you would feel the same way.
speaking of parents, there was a big, I don't know what's happened with it legally. There was a high school regional playoff game here that happened a few weeks ago where a parent actually went on the field and actually punched one of the kids. I'm like, you don't do that.
That's
And
insane.
I hope he got charged for it.
Yeah, me too. I just drama. All right, guys, we got our pips and points and dollars and targets on the day. Here are the trades we took, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah, don't get greedy, people.
Yeah, the hardest part is walking away. So I took one stop out here, fair and square. I don't regret the trade. I think the thing I could have done better was I knew on this candle that by how it was forming, like by the time this candle had closed, I could have taken the smaller stop loss. And that's something I need to work on, is just taking those smaller hits a little bit better. Instead, I did let the trade come up to my actual stop loss. That's probably something I can work on. This one I had my automatic management on, so I caught my 50 points, and I'm happy about. This one, I have no regrets, as this candle was pretty aggressively bullish. It was pushing up. I was like, yeah, no, I'm not giving any more than that back. We did come down a little bit more, so I could have got more out of it. But I mean, real management isn't always perfect. It's not always exactly what you want. So a couple 100-point trade on that one alone. On most accounts, I'm sitting kind of at that 200, 300-ish level. That's where I'm sitting on most of my accounts. There are a few outliers that either have room, but most of them, that's where they're sitting. So that's enough on the day, guys. What did I say? 50, 60 bucks a day on 20 accounts is literally 20 grand a month. Okay. $20,000 a month. Now, I know you have to get past the buffers. I know that there's a lot of nuances. I know that it feels like it's going to take forever, but if you stay the course long enough to get past that annoying part, you'd be surprised. You're just cycling payouts. Fine, you blow some accounts. It's not even that stressful because you're just restarting a new cycle, and it is doable, but it takes some time to get better. I fortunately feel like I'm getting a little better at this side of the industry. Otherwise, I was losing my mind. Yeah, that's all I've got. So I will be live again tomorrow. We're doing 3 days a week. Again, before I pop off, a couple of things. There's still 13 of us, so I'll take it. If you know anybody who's interested in this industry, definitely send them our way. I will talk to the team about setting up some kind of a referral affiliate thing. But really, we want to grow. My goal is to stay here until at least Noah graduates. And that's what I'm going to do. Because other than that, I'm here for you guys. By trading alone, I'm fine. Otherwise, the company, I get to employ some really cool people and we get to interact with some really cool people. And other than that, the goal is just to make an impact. So definitely phone a friend, do the things, check out the website if you haven't already done so. If you're buying any prop firms or using any brokers, please use code 6FTC or check our link tree, or whatever link is appropriate. We have several tools coming out, but I need you guys all to be patient. Robert, this message is especially for you, and I'm saying it with the most amount of love. You've got to understand nothing is going to be exact. Nothing is going to be perfect. We don't need perfection in this industry. And I was thinking about it last night. I was like, God put it on my spirit. But and I was talking to Sam about it too in the Dragonfly chat. We're all starting from different places. There's a few of you guys who have multiple 6 and 7-figure disposable income, okay, with inside of our community. There's some of you guys who are struggling to come up with 500. And I get that we're in different sides of the world right now. But honestly, wherever you're starting from, please understand this is still a big picture ecosystem. Figure you've got, and I said this in the Dragonfly chat, so I'm going to say it here. Figure you've got something like Dragonfly making you X percentage, a couple hundred or a couple thousand a month. That's not enough to change most people's lives at first, okay? But then let's say you're working on your manual trading and that's bringing you, let's say you kind of suck right now. Let's say that's bringing you maybe 100 or 200 if you're lucky. Maybe it's bringing you just enough to break even. Cool. Maybe you're still losing 500. I get that's part of this journey. But let's say you also have something like your long-term portfolios that are bringing you that 10, 20% a year. You've got some crypto that's bringing you whatever, or you're actively trading that on the 1 hour. Let's say you've got some automation that's bringing you, let's just say $1,000. That big picture equals better than six and potentially, multiple six figures in a year. Not at first. You got to start with where you're at. And yes, it takes money to make money, but stay the course. Don't get tripped up on exacting. It will not work. We've got a lot of cool things. A lot of it's going to be very tech heavy, and some of you guys are going to struggle with that. So become very figure it outness people. You're going to need to be if you're going to get all these automations to work. You're going to have a whole ecosystem of Orb, which we know is a sound edge, okay, that will manually trade, that will automatically trade for you. We've got a couple of candle-based entries, some fair value, gap, ICT kind of concept way entries. JGS, of course, you can't live with that. And then we've got some percentage. Okay, so we know that Trader Kane uses a 50% of the 50% pretty much. And a lot of people use fib stuff. So that's going to be our split system that's coming out very soon as well. These are all very sound, great strategies that will automatically enter for you. So be prepared to kind of be bombarded with all that stuff in the coming months. And
I
yeah,
do know why Sam posted that. I looked back, and when he or she, I don't know if it's a guy or a girl, originally posted, a few people laughed at it, and that's why they were reposting it. They were
oh, that's
actually
okay.
serious, and I knew they were serious too.
No, that's okay. Like we're all coming from different points, and I have so much respect for that. I genuinely, truly do, because at the end of the day, I mean, if I can help you get from your next 1.5 to 2, or maybe somebody's at 0.7, level 0.7, they're trying to get to 3. If I can just make that one little impact, that can potentially change the world, right? We talked about the chaos theory a few weeks ago, but the chaos theory just says that something even as small as the flap of a butterfly's wing can change the entire universe, and it can. So we have to understand that everyone's coming from a different point. Please try to keep the chats positive, obviously, all that good stuff. And just be the light, because life is too short to be anything but that. Like we all need to be more loving and kind to our neighbors and understanding and just helpful where we can, right? And that's all we're trying to do. So baby steps, baby steps. But we got our trades. We did the dang things. If you have questions, comments, if you made money today, post that in the chat, tag 6FTC, post it on your stuff. We super appreciate it. And plan on some muted volume. I don't know what this season's going to bring. We've got Trump in office. We've got tariffs. We've got tech. We've got AI. We've got 100 things going on. But in theory, we should see less overall volume. So if that's the theory, we have the Santa Claus rally and less predictable volume. So plan on these unpredictable pops and drops. Look for the safer moves if possible. And let's get through the month of December. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. And happy Tuesday.
Thanks,
Have a good
Jenny.
one, guys.
Thank you,
Good
guys.
journey.
Great
Bye.
class.